Okay, testing, testing. Am I live? Am I live? Let me know if we are live. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Sorry for the awkward introduction there. I just want to make sure that I am live. Okay. Thankfully, I have a bot that lets me know I'm live on Twitch. Let me just check if I'm live on YouTube. Yep, there we go. Actually, what does this even sound like? Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah. I love the BGM for that. I forget which event it was. It was a relatively recent event for Blue Archive, but God, that the second I heard that, I knew that had to be my BGM. So I have shamefully stolen that one. Let me know if we are live. Let me know if we are live. Okay, so, oh my god, I have so much to talk about. Oh, it's beyond just the mint. It's mostly about Uma Musume. I've been super, super duper obsessed with Uma Musume, and it really helps that we are going to be working with mint today, so. Might need to move some stuff around because I really want to show off this thing. We have about like infinite mint here. We have so much mint. Hello, Poke. How are you doing, Poke? Yeah. We got the mint. We got the mint. Shit. Okay. I can just move my time board or anytime I want. So, first things first. First things first, I just want to talk about how much I love this freaking thing. This glass container is godlike for preserving whatever herb you put into this, because I've kept mint in here for 2 weeks and it was still relatively good. So obviously you want to use mint in particular, but any herb as soon as possible while it's still freshest for a good few days. It's still pretty good after a week, and then it's still pretty good after a week, and then it's like still fine after 2 weeks. It's insane how long this can preserve mint for. And just I love this thing because I love making minty drinks, but I can't go through this much mint and that fast. And so being able to have this much mint is awesome. Seems like everyone is playing it. Though being a JP at your game, they tend to be notorious for low rates and stuff. And yeah, I've been playing too much Woowa. Woowa, the more I see Woowa, the more I get tempted to play it, but I still can't, and I still can't bring myself to play. I know it's not a Hoyo game, but it's very much based on a Hoyo game. Like it's very much based on Genshin, and I'm not really into Genshin, so I struggle to convince myself to play it, but more and more it feels like it's trying to convince me to play it. So I'm torn because I kind of don't want to play it, but I keep getting tempted to. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a hydroponic system is the best. But I don't think I mean, would you be able to explain that further? I don't think I recall what a hydroponic system is. I know it's good. I know there are better ways to preserve mint, but in terms of like $20, this costs $20, and it keeps your herbs preserved ever. It's just great for storing mint. Might start a fight, it's better than Genshin. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there's plenty of games that are like better, quote unquote, better versions of a game that already exists. And so, sure, yes, I'm sure, given the fan base of Wua, that it is a better Genshin Impact, but also it's still very much similar in vibe to Genshin, and that's why I'm not really keen on playing it. But yeah, so we're gonna be making mint drinks today. How do I want to like preface this properly? Because I want to do this right. Yeah. Okay. So I love mint drinks. I will make minty drinks any time of the year, but especially for summer, minty drinks are so cool and refreshing that I think anytime you're looking for or something to comfort you in the summer heat, you should try making a minty drink. And I want to share some of my favorite minty drinks with you today, and that's why we got a whole lot of mint to work with. I bought this fresh from the grocery store. They had so much fresh mint, it was shocking. They usually don't have mint, so you have to pick out some of the shittier bundles. No, they had a ton of mint earlier, and so yesterday, and so we have some of the freshest mint I've ever had. So I'm excited to work with this. Okay. Hydroponic systems don't use dirt. The roots of the plants derive food from nutrition waters and get from UV lamps, so they grow in very controlled environments. Well, I don't think I can afford that, but it does sound very good. Okay, let me just reposition this a little. That should be good enough. I'm way too perfectionist about that. I probably don't need to worry about that so much. But I think naturally, with all the Uma Musume stuff we're seeing lately, we have to get started with a mint julep. Now, the mint julep, I wish I did more research on this. I really need to do more research on this. I know Steve Sakai is doing an episode on this, and I'm totally going to rip him off because as I want to do an episode on this too about just horse racing track drinks in general, because Uma Musume is so popular right now. But if there's one horse racing drink you should ever know, it is the mint julep. The mint julep is just a plain and simple classic cocktail, absolutely divine, absolutely delicious, and it is the drink of the Kentucky Derby. It is literally associated with American horse racing, sure, but horse girls are all the rage these days. I think it's only appropriate we start with a mint julep, and to be frank, I love me a mint julep. I did not need Uma Musume to be reminded of a mint julep, but it feels like the right time for a mint julep. Wrong button. You can do cheap steps? Okay, I'll probably have to figure something out then. So, if I were more professional, I would have a legit julep mug. They're legit julep glasses, which are kind of just normal shaped cups that are just kind of cylindrical, a little bit angled, so like, But they're similar in vibe to a mule mug in that they are like copper lined. They frost up when you put tons of ice in it, so a mule cup will be perfectly acceptable here. We're going to start with mint, and with any minty drink, as much mint as you want, as minty as you think the drink wants. So look at all this beautiful mint. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Just we're gonna just toss some leaves in there. Just toss however leaves you think is appropriate. I would say like start with 8 and keep going until you're satisfied. I love mint, so I'll put like 15 plus little leaves in there. Probably two stalks worth of leaves. Tons of mint. Tons of mint. Hopefully that's visible. Can you see all that mint? It's kind of dark in there. I'm gonna need to invest in a little lighting rig. I think that's what I need. But oops, wrong one. Lots of mint. Lots of mint. And then, so I'm gonna take like one more for good measure. I'm gonna take these bottom leaves off just to add to the mintiness. So a little more mint. But then I'm gonna keep one sprig with the top on for garnish layer. So I'm gonna set this one aside. And then we're gonna wanna muddle this. So when you muddle, you're just pressing down on it. You're not grinding it, you're pressing down on it. All we're trying to do is release the oils from the mint. So just to kind of demonstrate, just like you can see from my hand, I'm not like twisting, I'm not grinding, I'm just pressing down. All I want to do is release the mint oils. Mint leaves are very fragile. They will give up their oil very easily. You just need to firmly press down on them, and they will release their oils. Get all their minty flavor out. Okay. Next up, I'm gonna say half an ounce of syrup. I'm gonna use some homemade Demerara syrup, 2-to-1, as all your syrup should always be. 2-to-1 is always ideal. Yeah, I'll try to get light in the future so that I can actually shine into the drink, so you can actually see into it. You're not like doing it. But we got half an ounce of simple syrup in there. A rich Demerara syrup in this case. Mint juleps are meant to be kind of sweet, but you need the sweetness, but you can't oversweeten it. So don't skip on the simple syrup, but also try not to put too much. It's a very fine, delicate balance. I've been wanting to do an episode on this because as Greg from How to Drink has referred to this as bartender ketchup, but you don't need this. But I love pouring some Angostura bitters in there. Probably like 2-3 dashes. I'm gonna start with 2. I might want a third. What kind of bourbon do I want? No, I have to go with the Angel's Envy because it is a Kentucky bourbon. Kentucky straight. Do 3 ounces. So roughly each 2 ounces, but I put a lot of mint in there. I put a pretty heavy dose of sugar in there. I tend to make my mint juleps a little boozier, a little mintier, and a little sweeter than usual. Just basically more mint julep for my mint julep. So I'm gonna put 3 ounces of bourbon in there. And for extra authenticity, try to go with a Kentucky bourbon. That being said, most bourbons are gonna be from Kentucky. And absolutely use what you like. Use what you like. I promise you, it's gonna make a damn fine, damn fine mint julep. Now, I'm gonna. I, we're going to need crushed ice. What really defines this drink is the crushed ice. It's what makes it so frosty. It's what makes it so it makes it seem like a boozy snow cone. It's what makes it so refreshing on a hot summer day while you're outside in the stands watching a bunch of horses race. It's what makes the drink so special because it frosts the outside of your what should be a julep glass, a julep. What is it called? A julep cup. I forget what it's actually called, but it's what's going to make it frosty on the outside. Thankfully, mule mugs do the exact same thing. So, well, because they're both made of copper, so you'll have to give me about 2 minutes to prepare some crushed ice because last time I tried to make crushed ice, I ruined everything. I almost spilled my entire Mai Tai onto all my electronics on this desk. So I'm going to crush some ice out of the camera frame and then bring it in. Be right back. I should mention first. So, whenever you're about to crush ice, you should try to get yourself a Lewis bag, one of these. And they usually come with a wooden mallet. Actually, I can explain this later. I'll be right back. Okay. So, I think I might need the vertical camera for this one. So, when you crush ice, you're going to want to, it in a bartending sense, you're going to want to get yourself you're going to want to get yourself a Lewis bag. These are referred to as Lewis bags. They are, I forget which cloth they're made of. They used to store banknotes in them. These are the bags that if you're thinking of like old-timey westerns where like stuff like in Red Dead Redemption where like Arthur Morgan is stealing in the bags full of cash. like a sacks full of cash in like old Western times. So, yeah, these are the kind of bags that were used. And then bartenders realize, hey, these are very durable. These are very useful for making crushed ice. You just put a bunch of ice into this. You put a bunch of ice into this, and then you just smash it. You just smash it with a hammer. And the thing about these bags is that they won't break. They're very they're very well woven. They're very strong, so they can handle being smashed with a hammer. They can handle being filled with crushed ice, because like even if all the ice melts in this, it won't leak out of the bag. It's very durable. It's very safe, and so it's just a very useful tool for making crushed ice. And so with that in mind, we have our beautiful mint julep here on the way with our simple syrup, our mint, our Angostura bears, our whiskey. Now we're gonna load this halfway with ice. So only halfway. Only about halfway with ice. Okay, so it's half filled with ice right now. This is the point where we want to mix it a little bit. So we're just going to take our bar spoon, and we're not going to so much stir this as we are going to what we refer to as, what was that? Swizzle it, to swizzle it, which is to say we do this. We just kind of spin it in our hands. Let's see if the horizontal shot can get. So, yeah. I'm just kind of spinning the bar spoon with my hands to get everything incorporated. This will muddle the mint a little more as well. And then this is also just going to mix everything quite nicely. Just roll it back and forth with my hands a little bit. And then now we're going to put the rest of the ice. So look at that. See that perfect like snow kind of consistency right there? I think the snow like consistency on top of that. It's very lovely. It looks very cold, right? And the thing about this is, I forget how exactly this works, but because of the alcohol content and because of how just cold it is it's not actually gonna melt right away. This is gonna stay frosty for a while, and you can already see it on the mug itself. It's starting to frost up a bit, and that's the beauty of mint juleps. It is so cold that you can physically see it getting very cold. The last step is to just garnish it with a sprig of mint, and whenever you garnish, you want to just clap it a little bit. You want to give the mint a little bit of a slap to release some oils, and just stick that in. I think I need to trim the stem a little bit. Just stick that on the rim, and the final touch, a straw. And whenever you garnish something with mint, you want to put it next to the straw, so that when you drink it, you also get a nice whiff of the mint itself as well. Cheers. What's an appropriately umamusume? May your horse win the Japanese Derby. Mm, mm. Oh, it's so perfect. Oh, it really is just the most simple and perfect kind of drink. Like you get all the complexities of the bourbon, but it's really simple what this is. It's the only complexity is from the bourbon itself. We use Angel's Envy. It's a very it's a lovely drink with a lot of I get peanut butter and jelly sandwich vibes from it. It's like yeah. Oh, the Demerara too just brings it up. The bitters, the really nice oaky, peanutty, like fruit jamminess of the Angel's Envy, and it's just so cool. Look at that. Let me look at that. Look at how it's frosted up because of the crushed ice. It's it's as cold. It's it's as cold as it looks. It's so chilling. It's so frosty. Imagine drinking this on a hot summer day and how cool and refreshing that must feel. It's so oh boy. Mm. Oh my goodness. This there really is no more perfect drink for a racetrack than this. Ugh. So let's talk a little bit about Uma Musume while I'm sipping on a nice. So, oh, I guess some backstory on the julep. People joke that this was medicine before, but I'm pretty sure that was in jest. I believe a julep refers to medicine, but then like before prohibition, when everyone was drinking almost for every meal, people joked like, have you had your julep today? They meant one of these. They didn't mean your medicine. They meant one of these. Oh my god. So I didn't want to play it at first just because I'm playing so many gacha games already. I'm already playing like I'm playing like 3 gacha games pretty religiously, and then I'm playing 5 on and off. So I play Blue Archive. I play a Blue Archive, Nikke, and Girls Frontline 2 pretty religiously. I do try to log in every day. I try to do all my daily tasks. I play Snowbreak on occasion. I play I'm trying to get into Neural Cloud, but I'm very inconsistent about logging in for that. And so I really didn't want to pick up Uma Musume because it's like, it's just gonna be another gacha game. It's gonna be another daily grind. And what really convinced me was the fact that normal streamers were playing it. So the thing about the thing about like a lot of trendy games for VTubers is that like VTubers will play anything that's like remotely anime related. And any trendy game that is like anime with anime art and whatnot will get played by VTubers, and people will have fun with it. People will probably meme it. It'll probably be like a one-time gig thing. But it's they're usually fads or like they're streamer gimmick type games, and so I tend not to gravitate towards those. But the thing is, Uma Musume got picked up by everyone, even like big normal streamers. Like the key one being Northern Lion, but I saw like Ludwig was playing it. There's all sorts of big name, like apparently big name normal streamers that I've never heard of because I don't watch normal streamers. I've never really liked normal streamers until I've never really liked normal streamers, and even when I started watching VTubers, I still don't really watch normal streamers. But yeah, a bunch of normal streamers started playing it and really getting into it. Like Northern Lion was like really getting into it, It's there was a few other streamers that are very much like getting super hyped about the events, like, oh my god, go, yes or no, stuff like that. Like at the end of Northern Lion stream, he was like, oh, I'm not ready to let this go. I'm not ready. He was like so emotionally attached to his horse girl, who unfortunately lost. He lost that run, and then just learning about the real life horses and how fucking like insane it is that all the quirks of the real horses are legit how the horses act IRL. It's insane. It's honestly like crazy how anime like real life horse racing is, and then the anime is just emulating that and like animifying it just a little more, honestly just a little more, and it's crazy how it's so cool. And then so I picked up the game because of that, and I just immediately fell in love with it because honestly it's so refreshing. What it reminds me of, honestly, is Kantai Collection. And if you've ever played Kantai Collection, it's infamous for kind of not giving you a lot of control. I'm understating it like crazy. You really don't have much control over your ships the moment you send them out. You have close to zero control. You just have to watch them hopefully succeed, sometimes fail. In events, most of the time fail until you get a run that carries you through, and it's largely luck based, it's largely RNG based, but every time it's so cold that it like hits you with a wave of coolness every time you sip it, and it's so refreshing, especially with how hot it's been lately. I'll just keep it here. Where was I? Oh yeah, so but the thing about that is, I think the thing that people, especially on the outside, overstate about like Kankale's is RNG-ness is that they make it so sound like, oh, you literally make no decisions, you literally is complete 100% luck, your decisions don't matter, etc. Your decisions matter a lot, but you make all of your decisions before you send out your fleet. So if this is you sending out your fleet, like this is where you spend the majority of your time watching your fleet go through and succeeding or failing, and you don't really have control over that. But like the real thing is, like, this is how much time you spent on it. This is how much of those decision points actually matter, because I would say like 90% of your time is spent reorganizing your fleet, making sure fleet 1 is like this, fleet 2 is like this, and the fleet order does matter. So fleet 1 is like this, fleet 2 is like this. You have within the fleet itself that they're in this order. So battleship, submarine, battleship, aircraft carrier, whatever. Like I forget the builds. It's been years since I played Kankale. And then all the equipment. Okay, you need to put a radar on one of your ships. You need to put this and that on one of your ships. You need anti-air guns. You need this specific kind of fighter jet. You need this specific kind of bomber, etc. And then so it's you do have to make a lot of decisions. You do there is a lot of skill in team building. There is a lot of skill in the grind of in between events, training up your ships, training up the right ships, knowing the history relevant to that ship, to the battle that the event is about, farming buckets so that you can repair your ships, etc. So there's a lot of skill in the preparation, and and that's what determines your success in the event. Because sure, it's mostly RNG at that point. You only have, say, a 10% chance of making it to the end, but your chances would be literally zero if you're like, well, it's all luck based anyway, so I'm just gonna do whatever because my decisions don't matter. No, okay, then your chances are literally zero. You have to make the right decisions before you even send out your fleet to even have a chance. And then you pick up percentage points as you go. Okay, I realize I needed this bomber. I realize I needed this and that. And then so you pick up 0.5% there, 1% there, 2% there. To bring this all the way back to Uma Musume, yes, the races themselves, you don't have any control over. But then you do so much prep work the other half of the time. You're doing so much, like planning out your training, planning out the additional races, planning out what skills they should use, planning out, like, even before you even start the campaign, picking your legacy horses to train up your current horse, picking your skill cards. And I was debating this with someone who was like complaining, like, oh, it's all luck based, it's all you have to have the high tier cards. No, one of my best runs was all R cards, all the lowest rarity. And I'm doing a run right now with the Tokai Teo with all common cards because I genuinely think they're the best cards. Yeah, there's so much preparation that goes into the race itself that despite the fact that you can't control the race, is the fruit of all of your labor. And that's why it feels so satisfying. It's why I think it's a very satisfying experience, because it kind of feels like a roguelike in that way. It feels like it feels like you are rewarded for good strategy, good decisions. And sure, you can get fucked over by luck, and the game does kind of rig things against you to try to get you to pull on the gacha. I'm aware of that, but also like to inflate the difficulty. But then just being able to overcome that, being like thinking of there's so many times I lose, and it's sort of like, sure, yes, I could have gotten luckier for sure. But also, I think to myself, maybe I should have focused more on stamina this run. Maybe I should have gotten this skill instead of that skill. Maybe I should have this or that. And it's like you think back on your decisions as well as your bad luck. And so it's so satisfying. And then the other part of that is it means that you didn't have to rely on the gacha. Because of the fact that it's so roguelike, I'm not sure how to say that right, but because it's so roguelike-esque, there we go. Because it's so roguelike-esque, and the fact that every horse has its own story mode, every horse has its own strengths and weaknesses, every horse can be boosted by legacies and the right card decks, support card decks. You don't need to play the gacha. You do not need to feed into the gacha. You will get a satisfying experience from even common horses. And that's what I loved about Kankale. They cared about their low tier units. They cared about the commons and rares that like you pull hundreds of and are tired of seeing, because of the fact that it's like they were real life horses. They were legendary in their own right. They deserve their own love, and you get to play through their stories. Like Haru Urara is a very popular character right now. Goldship is one of the starring roster and is literally the mascot of the game at this point. Like all of these horses were real life horses. All these horses deserve to have their stories told, and you get to experience their story, play through their story, and make them good via gameplay, even without pulling on the gacha. And obviously the gacha makes things marginally easier, but you don't need it. And so it really brings back that Kankale vibe of just both long-term strategic planning despite the RNG, And long-term strategic planning despite the RNG, and respect for common rarity units, and inherent gameplay design that inherently limits the need for gacha. And I am so in love with Uma Musume. I play it literally whenever I have even a fraction of time. I play it at work when there's like 2 minutes worth of break, so I can get through like two in-game days worth of training, two in-game, like one in-game event, one race. Like I'll play it while I'm waiting for stuff to print, like documents to print at work, because something we have to do at work is wait for documents to print. And then so like there's nothing to do for a good 20 minutes. I'll watch a few races on Uma Musume while doing that. I am so obsessed with Uma Musume right now. I really should take the time to actually learn more about the horses other than Goldship. There's infinite stories about Goldship. There's infinite stories about Goldship because he's the weirdest animal to ever live. And it's amazing. I love him so much. Everyone loves him so much because Goldship is just the weirdest fucking animal that has ever lived. But I really want to learn more about more of the horses that they're actually based on, because like, again, to refer back to Goldship, like the in-game Goldship is such an asshole, is such a weirdo, is such a funny human being. Even a horse girl, I guess, the funny horse girl. And then you realize almost every weird quirky thing that the in-game horse girl has done is something the real life Goldship has done, because the real life Goldship is a fucking weird ass animal. So yeah, I'm so obsessed with Uma Musume. My favorite is Daiwa Scarlet. I'm working so hard to get a build right for her. I can't get far with her. I don't know. I know I probably do need to catch up for her because I can't build a front Daiwa yet. I'm pretty damn sure you need to build her front, but the only cards I have are for pace. So I have to build Pace Scarlet, which doesn't feel right. I think she's better as a front. But yeah, I'm working towards building a front to Daiwa. I finished the run with Vodka, her rival, which was frustrating, but also I was so excited. Oh man, let me catch up with chat before I talk about the Vodka run, because I could go on. I was annoying my friend at work, my coworker at work, because I was so excited about the Vodka run, especially because I was doing it at work. I was like trying to hold back my excitement, because if I was fucking alone, I went like, yes, fuck yeah. Like I would have been cheering, but just because I was at work, I was just much more subdued. Like I won the Japanese Derby by like a hair, just barely won the Japanese Derby. And literally at work, I had to stop what I was doing, just like punching the air in excitement. Just like I was so jazzed up about that run. That specific run. I need to talk about that too, but first of all, let me catch up with chat because I've been yapping so much. Ugh. Okay, I'm thinking of Blue Archive. Oh yeah, Blue Archive Steam came out. That's exciting too. I haven't gotten to play it on Steam yet. Haven't picked up the game. It's easy to keep up with short dailies. Oh yeah, I've been seeing people playing Mecha Break as late. Mecha Break. Oh, so I don't know what Mecha Break is, but I saw before I started stream that Cleo and Mari were both playing it. PvP heavy mech game isn't my thing. I don't like mechs in general, unfortunately. So that game's definitely not for me. Oh wait, hold on. I think I've seen Irie play it a bunch of times. It does look cool, just mechs aren't my jam. I wonder if it's like a game about horse girls. I'll give it a shot. It's such a weird concept that it sells itself. Like I know a lot of gacha games these days. Someone put out like a pretty decent rant post. I think like Uma Musume does such a good job at enticing you to play it without relying on like I hate this word, but gooner bait. And it's like, okay, to be frank, like I don't I don't necessarily hate that about modern games, but it's like it's also but it is also kind of a shame that it has to rely on that to pull in players, even if the story is good, even if the gameplay is good, etc. And then but like Uma Musume manages that without having to worry about any of that. And that's great. Haha, a game about horse girls? I will give it a shot. Oh shit, this game turns out to be good. Oh hey Chibity, I'll be honest, I did see you pop into the chat while I was on my spiel, but I was on a roll. I was on such a roll I couldn't stop myself from yapping, so I couldn't properly greet you. Is it gacha friendly, I wonder, or not really? Hard mode. Pray gold ship is normal today for the race. So from what I experienced in the gacha, I think the rates are pretty unforgiving. The rates are really unforgiving, it seems. I haven't gone all in, so I can't tell for sure. The rates seem unforgiving. The concept of the game is so the very nature of the game is gacha friendly because you don't need it. Like if you just have the starters, what were they? Bakshin, Sakura Bakshin, Haru Urara, Gold Ship, Vodka, and Daiwa Scarlet. Even with just the starters, you have 5 story modes you can try. That is a lot of content you can grind. And sure, you don't have a lot of support cards, which are the main thing. You get like 10 support cards, which is not nearly enough, but you can get decently far. My first Daiwa Scarlet run is still my best Daiwa Scarlet run, and I had no legacy. I had no good supports yet. It's like my first Daiwa Scarlet run is still my best Daiwa Scarlet run, and that kind of shows like there's it's not really about the cards necessarily. It's about your strategy and goals, but also not that they don't help, because like once I established more of a legacy, once I decided to pull for some cards, I didn't go crazy. I went like 2 10 pulls for support cards and 1 10 pull for new horse girls, and I didn't get any SSRs, but it expanded my roster to make it a little easier to build things. But it's not like I have any of the good stuff yet, and I'm still doing well. I finished the run, so yeah. Pray gold chip is normal today, dude. The IRL jockeys prayed for that too. Like, okay, the people like watch anyone play gold chip, like the random shit she says, the random shit she does to your playthrough that can instantly brick it. It's just because she doesn't feel like training that day, or because she only wants to train guts, which is useless that day. Like the crazy shit that the in-game the gold chip does is shit that happened in real life. There's so many stories that people are just sharing about the real life gold chip. One of them is that like they're doing the usual parade, and the horses are pretty well trained, so they're parading around just as photographers take pictures, as people in the stands cheer for all the horses. And gold chip, instead of staying in line, is getting so excited by the attention, and gold chip is kind of a narcissistic asshole IRL, and then so he breaks formation and is like prancing around, like rearing and like bouncing around, and you can tell the jockey's like, what the fuck fuck are you doing? What the fuck? Like the jockey is like holding on for dear life, and as Goldchip is doing whatever the fuck he wants. Goldchip is male in real life. And just like Goldchip is just doing whatever the fuck it wants and like prancing around trying to pose for the cameras and whatnot. And the jockey's very clearly along for the ride as opposed to controlling him, and it's so funny. Like the real life Goldchip does not care about its rider. It marches to the beat of its own drum, and the anime Goldchip, it references that the anime Goldchip isn't its own character. It is very much based on how the real horse acts. Obakepam went for Rice Shower, who is an anxious loser instead of an oblivious loser like Haru. Yeah, Rice Shower is pretty popular too. She has a pretty sure he's male too in IRL, I think. But regardless, Rice Shower is a very tragic story. So, Goldchip's very funny. Haru Urada is a lovable loser. Yeah, Haru Urada is a lovable loser. Rice Shower is a tragic one. So they started off like, I think they won. I don't know the specifics very well. Like I said, it makes me want to research them, but everything I know is from like these random Twitter threads about the quirks about most of these the real life horses based on these horse girls. Mostly Goldchip, to be frank. Rice Shower, as far as I know, ran in 6 races. They dominated the first few, and then we're starting to fall off a little bit, and then like one race, very tragically, they tripped over and then broke one of their legs and have to be euthanized. And so that's really tragic, and that's why the character is so shy, reserved, worried about their luck, or just always feels like an impending sense of doom because of the fact that in real life they met their doom. Apparently FaZe has a Mecha Breakers sponsorship. That explains it. It genuinely does look like a cool game. So as much as I'm not into mecha, it looks like a cool game. It's definitely something I would watch on stream. It's just something I would never play myself. Worse than Blue Archives or just as bad as the FGO? I've never played FGO. I played Blue Archives rates are pretty bad. I was lucky for a while. I had a good 2+ year streak of never needing to spark, but then after a while I needed to spark. Oh, it gets better as you sip it too. Even when the ice melts, because it's sort of like it helps control the intensity of all the stuff I put in because I made it extra minty, extra boozy. Ooh. Blue Archive, I get like 4 rainbows. Yeah, I'm relatively lucky with Blue Archive, and none of them are the banners. Yeah, that tracks. I'll get a good chunk of spooks, but I've been getting like my bad luck is mostly for the actual banner girl because I get plenty of spooks, which I need because I'm free to play. But yeah, it can be tough to get the banner sometimes. Rice Shower's RL story summed up because some famous Flash super laughed at it and people got mad. I mean, here's the thing. I don't necessarily blame them because it's like, oh, silly horse girl thing. I think Northern Lion himself was like, oh, whatever. Like, oh, if you lose to the glue factory, would you? And then people inform them, and you can tell Northern Lion is getting super attached to his horse now. Like, he's getting super attached as he goes through the story. He's getting super attached as he's playing through it, and the run's starting to fail on him. And the guy that was making fun of Haru Uda, there was a guy who made fun of Haru Urara. It's like, oh, she's so happy even though she got 7th place, off to the glue factory with you. And then he quote retweeted his own thing, and it's like, I heard about her story and now I'm so sorry, I'm rooting for her now. Like, it's, I don't blame them. Like, make the dark humor as you want, but then you learn the real story and how accurately the anime version depicts them, and suddenly you're like hooked. You're like super attached to them now. Fuck. Oh man. Will I have time to talk about it? My vodka story. I can make the next drink and also talk about the vodka story because I just finished this up. But yeah, make yourself a mint julep and thank me later. The mint juleps are absolutely divine, absolutely fantastic. The perfect drink to loop you up, get you excited about your horse races. Next one. I forget the recipe actually. Let me look it up real fast. You're gonna hear some of my YouTube videos in the background as I look this up. Derp. Okay. Give me one sec. How to drink rum. Yeah, here we go. Ooh, I finally get to tell this story. Okay, I've been wanting to tell this story for a while, actually. What is Greg's recipe? Greg's recipe was half lime juice, half simple, 2 ounces of rum, mint, Ingo, crushed ice. Okay, so half to mint bitters. Okay. Half to mint bitters. Yeah. Half to mint bitters. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey Hacker Troller, you just minced out on the mint julep and me yapping a lot about Uma Musume, but don't worry. Don't worry. The Uma Musume yapping is going to continue. I'm just looking up a recipe right now. Okay, so half to mint bitters. I think mint comes first. So mint half to bitters. Mint half to ice bitters. Okay. We got it. Give me a sec. Don't worry, there will be we're making at least 3 drinks today. I think this is the appropriate glass for QPS. Okay. Okay, so same as before, as much mint as you want, as always. Whenever you're adding mint to a cocktail, it's to taste. It's however much you think is necessary. In my case, I always think a lot is necessary. So I always think about like 2 stalks worth, so that usually adds up to about like 10 to 15 leaves. But it's not an exact science, especially because all the leaves are different shapes and sizes. Mint fresh and mint for cocktails, dried for tea. Yeah, oh yeah. Like mint, I just love mint so much that I I don't go through it fast enough to like justify how much mint I get. And the thing is, I only buy one bundle of mint, but I can't get through it fast enough to justify all of it. But I love mint so much that I I make a ton of mint drinks when I'm at home and not trying to impress anyone. Like I just love making minty drinks so much. Yeah. This is plenty of mint. So all these were particularly big leaves, so I didn't have to put as many leaves as I usually do because these were such big leaves. So, and I'm going to keep one mint sprig with the top on for garnish, as always. Looking good, Minty. Nice. How you doing, is Daniel? Nice to meet you. I go so fast through mint. Yeah, I wish I can go through it faster. I go through a lot of mint. I don't get through enough to be able to use all of it before it goes bad. Being why I want the plant. Yeah. I should probably just grow my own mint at some point so that I can more easily access it. Anyways, so with any mint drink, just press down on it as usual. Once again, and when you muddle, you are not aiming to crush, to grind it, to grind it into a pulp, because you don't want to be sucking up mint leaves when you drink it. You're just trying to press it. You do want to press it firmly, but do not break the leaves, because all you want is for the mint to release its oils. And mint really wants to release its oils. It doesn't take a lot of coercion. You just press it down and it should release its oils pretty nicely. I feel like I'm going to get sick, so I did a bee's knees the other day. Yeah, bee's knees are nice. Bee's knees are nice. Now I have a craving for a nice drink, though not looking for alcohol. Ooh, I should probably think of mint drinks that are mocktails. That might be a fun experiment to do one of these days. Is just to figure out minty mocktails. There's a lot of weird ways you can make mocktails. I don't think I've ever seen a minty mocktail, so I want to do that. It's just honey and lemon. Yeah. Bee's knees are really nice and simple. I'll be right back. I just need to grab some limes. And by some limes, I meant one limes. Lime. Oh, I'm so excited. So my new model is getting rigged, and I'm so excited. If you didn't see the preview last stream, and I had to private last stream, mostly because of the model reveal, I want to still keep that a surprise. So, just for a little reference. Shing! Expect some swordsmanship from the next model. I'm so excited. Half a lime. I still fucking love this knife. This knife is so fucking good for cutting fruits. It's insane how good it is for cutting fruits. No Natsu 2.0 coming? Fuck yes. I'm so excited for it. So, half a lime. Now, typically, it's specifically half an ounce of lime, but I never measure my limes because every lime is roughly 0.8 to 1 ounce anyways. And so, and it's not rocket science, so you don't have to be exact. Hello, I found your channel searching whilst looking for specialty drinks. It happens I'm a big VTuber fan. Nice to meet you, Enzo. Yeah, I do cocktails every Monday. So, oh, I'm glad to see you around. Thank you for stopping by. We're making a Queen's Park Swizzle right now. So, we're making a Queen's Park Swizzle, and I have a lot to talk about Uma Musume. So, hopefully, you have a good time here. Yeah, having a good knife is a life changer for sure, for sure. I love this knife so much. It genuinely, like life changer feels like an exaggeration. It's not. It genuinely did change my life. Uh, so this is my simple syrup. It's in a Smith and Cross bottle, but it's just simple syrup. I think that I will. Okay, okay. I'm glad to have you here, Enzo. I'm excited to have you here. In fact, the more the merrier. The drunker I get, the more I want to chat, the more I want to yap, the more I want to talk with y'all, and the more of you here, the more happier it is to be able to chat with y'all. Half an ounce of simple syrup. That's another great thing about all these minty drinks is you don't need to put them in. You typically don't need to put them in a strainer, despite the fact that it has fruit juices in them, because you tend to need to swizzle them. The third drink will require shaking, but it's because it's near and dear to my heart, because it's my own recipe. And I do. No, I don't think you can get away with shortcutting it. Like the mint julep and the Queen's Park Swizzle, you do want the mint leaves physically in there. With my custom cocktail, that will be the third drink. You really don't want it in your drink. The leaves itself. You just want the mint flavor. So, yeah. So we have this simple syrup. Ooh, yeah, okay. I've been excited to talk about this one. So give me a sec. I'm just gonna grab the rum for this. Ouch. Planner A OFCD. So, oh my god. Oh my god. I've been wanting to tell this story. I wanted to tell this story last week, but because the stream started so late, it just turned into a just chatting stream with alcohol involved, as it usually does. But I wanted to talk about this so much because the story. So I've never tried this. As you can see, it's unopened. I've never tried this yet. I've been needing a new overproof rum. My go-to overproof rum is actually Don Q 151. Excellent rum, by the way. Excellent rum. I can stand by this. My best Mai Tai rum blend involves this, and it's divine. It's godlike. It's so good. But I wanted to mix it up. I've resolved that I don't want to buy this. I don't want to just buy bottles I'm familiar with. If I want to always try a new bottle every time I go on a bottle run. And even if I want a familiar rum, it better come accompanied with a new rum. So I wanted to try this overproof. I wanted to try this. I know it's come heavily recommended, and so there's someone at my local liquor store who knows this shit about spirits, and so every time he makes a suggestion to me, they've always been good. So I what did he suggest? He suggested me a wine that was really good for something I need to show you guys one of these days. But I picked this out on my own because I know I trust the Planere brand. Planere is a very good brand, and also like I know some of my favorites YouTube mixologists, namely How to Drink, really likes this rum. So I already did that, but then like that guy who I talked about at the store who knows his shit and taught me about liquor told me the story of how like so it has all these guys on it. So I don't know many of them. So Jay Barry, MK, McFadden, McGee, Shooter, or David Wondrich, which I do know. David Wondrich, I do know, and thankfully he's the one relevant to the story. And Gabriel, these guys are like apparently legendary bartenders, mixologists, etc. They've all written books. They're all like very legends in the craft. Hopefully one of these days I'll actually get better acquainted with all of this. David Wondrich in particular writes the best book on bartending, in my opinion. Imbibe. If you're I haven't read many books on mixology yet, so I can't speak to it's close enough. But Imbibe definitely is something so many people recommend. Like no matter who you ask, from low level to high level mixologists, they always tell you to read David Wondrich's Imbibe, because what he did was basically translate the first ever cocktail book, Jerry Thomas's Guide, which goes into the oldest cocktails of all time, etc. And so we've been taking a huge departure from our Queen's Park Swizzle. I'm sorry. I'm sure that's gonna annoy my editor or later on, but I really wanted to tell the story about this rum. So, all these guys were taste testing rums to figure out this blend, to make sure like whatever product they were selling, this was going to be their premium bottle, this was going to be the premium blend they use from now on. And then so they're all tasting it, they're all trying different stuff, and they're just trying to find the right rum to sell, to market, to be able to brand as like, this is the signature rum, this is the rum you want if you want to have the really good stuff at your parties or whatnot. So David Wondrich was revolutionary in bartending. He's definitely one of the modern legends in bartending for sure, and he's the one who his biggest accomplishment is that he wrote Imbibe, Imbibe. Imbibe is basically a compilation and a translation of Jerry Thomas's guide to bartending. Jerry Thomas is the first legendary bartender way back in the early mid 1800s. Jerry Thomas. So bartending as an art has existed for hundreds of years, but Jerry Thomas is the first one to actually like write down recipes, because until then, like, okay, bars across America, there were legendary bartenders, but all of them had their own recipes. No one bothered to write them down. Jerry Thomas bothered to write them down, and so in his travels, he wrote them down. He opened bars himself and was a legendary bartender himself. He made a bunch of great drinks. He wrote them down. He made recipes. He talked about his iterations. And so David Wondrich took those recipes, researched the history of all those recipes, and then explained them in that book while explaining all of the listing out Jerry Thomas's original recipes, while also listing out the history on how these drinks came to be. So anyways, they were taste testing recipes, they're trying to do it, and then they come across one batch that It's a David Wondrich takes a sip of and goes. Okay. I want to make sure I get this right. Maybe on the horizontal cam. Okay. David Wondrich takes a sip of one of the batches and goes, oh, damn it. Okay. Oh, fuck, that's delicious. I was just cackling in the store when I heard that. Oh, fuck, that's delicious. It on the actual bottle, it says old-fashioned traditional dark, but the real quote is, oh fuck, that's delicious. That's where he gets its name from. I'll have to check that book out. Thank you for the recommendation. Yeah, so I don't read many cocktail books, but every single old mixologist, whether they're a beginner to a beginner to an established like 20-year vet, will always suggest imbibe because it is a foundational thing. Because it's important to know where the first cocktails came from, because that's where everything branches out from. Everything spawns from those original mixes and then branches out into all the new cocktails. So knowing that history helps you understand why new cocktails are the way they are today. Without further ado, let's actually try this, because I've never actually opened this before. It's brand new. I just tore off the plastic right now. So let's try this for the first time. First time opening this ever. Oh fuck, that's delicious. Oh, okay. Once you get past the burn, because it's overproofed, it's super strong. Oh, it's so rich. It's super rich. It's super funky. It's super spicy. It's super. They have the tasting notes. Let me see if it's like. Yeah, intense coffee. I don't detect coffee. Orange. Yeah, I definitely detect orange. I detect jam. I don't detect a lot of truffles. Caramel cream. I do taste a lot of caramel. Chocolate and vanilla. I got plenty of vanilla. Cinnamon, yes. Raisins, some. Nutmeg, yes. Oak, yes. Molasses. Yeah, well, I mean, all rums are made with molasses, so that makes sense. I'm reading off the tasting notes here, because I'm not good at noting myself, so I do need help. With dark chocolate yeah, I definitely get a lot of clove. Yeah, let me try this again and try to note it for myself to try to figure out the order. Ooh, the oakiness comes up front. That's unique. Strong caramel, strong vanilla. Lots of funky banana. Yeah, nutmeg, clove, more vanilla. Yeah, there's the creaminess from it. Yeah, this is damn good. Oh my god, this is gonna go so well in this in this Queen's Park Swizzle that I've neglected for a while. Okay. Anyways, two ounces of our old-fashioned traditional dark rum. Use whatever rum you like, but I think this is gonna be a fantastic rum for this. Mint, we already put the lime, we already put the sugar. Mint, half to ice Angostura bitters. Yeah. Okay. I like nutmeg and eggnog during the holidays. A bunch of my Canadian friends love eggnog and go crazy for it. I love eggnog too. Eggnog is definitely one of those things where there are two kinds of people. People who people who hate eggnog uh, and people who make it themselves. Because anyone rather people who hate eggnog and people who have had homemade eggnog. Homemade eggnog is godlike. Homemade eggnog is so good. I understand the people who hate eggnog because if you've tried the current stuff, all of it is really weirdly gross. I like this channel. I'm so glad. Hopefully I get to see you more, man. I stream every Monday, so Monday night, so hopefully that's a good time for you. But yeah, I stream every Monday night. I hope I get to see you more because I have fun doing this too, and I have even more fun when I have more people to chat with. Okay, I will need to fill this with crushed ice, so I'll have to be right back. It will probably take me about 2-3 minutes to crush some more ice, so I'll be right back. Growing up, I used to hate eggnog, but as I grown recently, I grown a taste for it. So I've never tried eggnog until I made it for myself. And then when I made it for myself, I was like, why would anyone hate eggnog? And then so I watched How to Drink's video about trying all the current eggnogs because I know his recipe for eggnog. He really loved it. And then so I realized in those two episodes, the homemade eggnog and then the current eggnog, is that it's if you made your own eggnog, or if someone made homemade eggnog that you tried, you love eggnog. If you've only had the current stuff, you hate eggnog. And so I understand completely now that it's specifically, have you had homemade eggnog or not? Homemade is always a banger. A current eggnog always appears to be trash. My sister exposed me to a Boehner drink during the holidays, which she called True Love. It has egg whites along with gin, raspberry, simple, and a little bit of ginger beer. It was delicious. That sounds weird, but kind of awesome. I'll have to try that. A Panama version of eggnog from Pache. They do a more homemade product to my family. I stole the recipe from a friend in another year. Here in Mexico, we have a similar, but usually nuns make it and sell it. That's nice. That's nice. Anyways, same concept. If you ever want to make crushed ice, get yourself a Lewis bag and then crush it with a hammer. A wooden mallet and a Lewis bag will turn any ice into crushed ice with a little bit of effort. And then we want to fill this halfway. Okay, so we filled this halfway, and just like with the mint julep, we're gonna want to swizzle this. Now, there is a specific tool called a swizzle stick that you use to do this mixing motion, where you just twirl your spoon. It's better with a swizzle stick, but it works fine with a spoon. We just want to get that all incorporated. And then we're going to top this up. We call our bar spoon the dancer. That makes a lot of sense, actually, because it spins around so much. Well, in general, with food, with all the preservatives, it makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. And so, okay. And then, so to finish off our Queen's Park Swizzle, we are going to add Angostura bitters. And some recipes are going to say, like, 2 to 4 dashes. That is nonsense. That is BS. You want 8 to 10. You want a lot of bitters on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You need a lot of berries on this. You don't just want, you need a lot of berries in this. And as you can see, we do have a really cool gradation with the mint, the rum mixture, and the top of Angostura bitters. You can drink it like this. However, I would not recommend it. Let's take our mint leaf that we had earlier and just give it a little slap to release its oils. Just stick it right in there. Let's get us another straw. Give me a sec. And then, as you can see from where I hit it, you see how the Ango is starting to mix in there? You would like to mix this in, if possible. So you're going to ruin the gradation effect on there. the TikTokian, the really cool like look of it, but it's much better mixed. You want all those flavors all together. As much as the gradation is really cool, you would rather have all the flavors mixed together and be tasty as heck. And then, as always, you want to make sure the mint garnish you put on there is kind of attached to the straw like that. So whenever you take a sip, you're gonna get a nice hit of the drink. You're gonna get a nice hit of the mint smell, which is really gonna make the drinking experience even better. Cheers to another great summer day. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's been so long since I've had a Queen Spark Swizzle. This is... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is one of the best drinks I've ever had. This is one of the best versions of a Queen Spark Swizzle I've ever had. This is... Oh my god. Oh, it's so intense. Oh, because of how much bitters. Bitters are a powerful flavor. That's why you only need 2 dashes in an old fashioned. That's why you only need 2 to 4 dashes in any cocktail, because it makes itself known with only a few dashes, and we put 10 dashes in this. Oh my goodness. It's so powerfully gentian. The Angostura beers are mainly done with gentian. And then you get the complexity of the rum, all the caramel, all the cinnamon, all the baking spices, and the banana and the rum, and the molasses. Oh my goodness. And then, like, the mintiness, like, I could have even made this more minty, but, like, the mintiness breaks through, too, and it's, especially with help with the garnish, and, like, it just adds a bed of nice, cool, like, it's the sort of drink that it's like, it feels so cold that you can feel the heat of a hot summer day as you drink it. Like, when you drink this, you feel the sun on you because it's so cool that it reminds you of a nice, cool sip of something delicious as you're saying in the hot summer heat on a beach. And you get the rumminess. You just get all those complex flavors of a good rum, of just the caramel, the oak, the like rotting banana, the baking spices of the rum, along with the intense bitter gentian of the Angostura bitters. Angostura bitters have a weird sweetness to it too, and so you get plenty of that too. And then just the bed of mint, like it's weird because you're imagining yourself on a hot beach, but you have, like, you know, have you ever been on a beach and then you're walking at night? So you're walking on a beach at sunset or at night, and the sand is cold, like pleasantly cold. So it's like this really pleasant feeling between your toes and on the soles of your feet as you walk through. It's such a weird drink because it's sort of like, whoa. on the top end, and on the top end, as you sip it, as you indulge in the flavors, it's such a nice, like, you feel like you're on a beach on a hot summer day enjoying yourself, but the mint make it the mint make it so that like it feels like you're walking on the beach at sunset at the same time. So at the same time as you're enjoying the hot summer day, the pleasant hot summer day, you're also experiencing the pleasant, cool feeling of sand on the sunset, on the evening at a beach as you walk through it, as the sand like it gets through your toes and on the soles of your feet. And that's what the mint provides. So it this drink is everything pleasant about summer. Is everything good about the daytime in summer, and is everything pleasant about the nighttime in summer on the beach specifically. So it is everything pleasant about being on the beach in the day during the summer, with everything pleasant during the night in the summer, because it's also cold as hell. We put hella crushed ice in this, so it's like you get the flavors remind you of the summer heat of a wonderful vacation on the beach. And then the mint and the ice remind you of evenings on the beach, sunsets on the beach, where it's so cool and relaxing. Oh. I've never had so I've made Queen Spark Swizzles with other rums. With OFTD, it genuinely has become like a top 3 drink all time for me. Like, I've made Queen Spark Swizzles and they've always been amazing. They've always been very good and I love them. They've always been like a top 10, top 5 drink to me. With specifically OFTD, I do think now it is a top 3 drink for me. I genuinely, this has been one of the best experiences of my life. Because I tried it with OFTD finally, and oh my god, it's so wonderful with the OFTD. It brings me to a beach at every pleasant time of the day, and it's perfect. Holy shit. Oh my god. I don't know if I can talk about other things right now. I can't describe how amazing this tastes to me, how experiential this taste is to me, how much this drink is bringing me back to a beach right now. Like, I'm just sitting in my house, in the corner of a room in my home bar, or just like making random drinks for random denizens of the internet. This drink is bringing me to a beach. Like, this drink, when I sip this drink, I'm teleported to a beach, and it's so perfect. Oh my god. Top 5 drinks when? My top 5? We could do that. We could definitely do that. I might have to do that. The issue is, like, I have a hard time parsing down which are my genuine top 5. I would have to do it how to drink style, where it'd be like, oh, okay, my top 3 gin drinks, my top 3 rum drinks, my top 3 whiskey drinks, etc. Because it's so hard for me to really rank what my favorite drinks are, because there's so many good ones. You're very passionate about your drinks, I can tell. I'm glad. I'm glad that comes through, because it's like, honestly, like, I've kind of feel lost as a VTuber. I don't know if I have enough to really break through and be a true big VTuber. But even if I remain niche, even if I never really grow as a VTuber, I want to make sure, and this is why I'm so passionate about like finding editors to make YouTube videos for me, because I don't have the time to edit for myself. I have to cook for my family. I have a job. I have a job that spends a lot of time. I spend a lot of time at the gym, etc. And I need a lot of time to myself to just play games and relax, because I get I get really stressed out because of the gym, because of my work, etc. I need an editor to make YouTube videos for me, but that's why I focus so hard on making YouTube videos, is because I really want to share my passion for cocktails, my passion for drinks, because these drinks are magic. I was one of those people. Who genuinely thought like, oh, people only drink to get drunk. Like it's people only like alcohol to get drunk because it makes them feel good. Like alcohol doesn't taste good. No, I promise you, like getting drunk is a side effect of this drink. Like it's not. It's nice to feel tipsy. So it's nice to feel tipsy. It sucks to feel drunk. And this is strong enough to instantly make me okay. So it sucks to feel rather. Let me start over. It feels good to be tipsy. It's fun to be drunk. It sucks to be super drunk. This drink will get me drunk instantly, because this is a very strong drink, because of it's an OFTD and it has a lot of sugar in it, and it has a ton of bitters in it. Bitters are very concentrated, so bitters are very high in alcohol, but you put so little of it, it doesn't really affect the alcohol content. The issue is we put 10 dashes of bitters in this. It will show its strength in this cocktail, so that's a little bit dangerous, but yeah, like it's like I'm into cocktails for the flavor, and it's like it's not about getting drunk. When I made my first ever old fashioned, I realized, oh, there is a world of flavor I've never experienced before. And like, it's not even me being pretentious, because it's like, oh yeah, I'm listing off like, oh, I can taste hints of caramel, I can taste hints of oak, I can taste hints of baking spice, and this and that, and this and that. And it's like, I'm not being facetious. Like, I know how it comes off. I know it feels pretentious for someone to say like, oh, you can't really taste all those flavors. And I used to think that, because it's like, okay, I listen to wine connoisseurs, especially because my parents were wine connoisseurs. My parents have friends who are wine connoisseurs, and so they tried out a bunch of wines. And then so they were like, oh yeah, you can taste the raisin and you can taste the nutmeg and this and that about it. I'm like, oh, that's probably bullshit, whatever. And then I made my first old fashioned, and I realized, oh no, they're 100% genuine. They're 100% legit, because it's like, even when I was bad at noting stuff, like I didn't know how to describe my favorite bourbons, but I knew they were complex. So there's that term, seeing the forest for the trees. I still don't really know what that means, to be frank, to be honest. But yeah, seeing the forest for the trees. Like I when I tried my first old fashioned, I realized, oh no, they were right. There are like a million flavors in this drink that I don't understand yet. And then so like when I started making more cocktails, when I started exploring this more, I was like, oh my god, every one of these drinks is like a journey, a straight up journey. So like the way I describe a lot of cocktails is like taking steps. And then so I would talk about like, oh, in an old fashioned, I was talking like, oh, so I detect the bitters and then like the apple and the caramel and then the baking spice and then this and that and this and that. And then so like it feels like a walk to me where it's like, okay, I feel this, I feel that, I feel this, I feel that, I feel this, I feel that. And then it's just an insane journey for that. And then that's when I realized like, oh yeah, this is such a fun sort of experiment. It's such a fun way to explore flavors. And then like it became all about the flavors to me. It's not about getting drunk for the alcohol. It is for finding that experience of just like that. Like I said with this drink, it feels like I'm walking on a beach at the very perfect time to walk on a beach. And it's so experiential, it's so perfect. And then the feeling of being drunk is a side effect now. It's not the main thing I look for. You're very passionate about your drinks. I can tell your go-to top drinks are both ways, like for each kind of liqueur and the top one for each category. Yeah, I can try something like that. I could definitely try something like that. I would have to like really explore my thoughts for that though. I agree. You eventually regret being super drunk in more ways than one. Oh yeah, for sure. I get super drunk in a lot of my streams, so like I do end up regretting it regardless. But it's worth it for like entertaining you guys, for enjoying good drinks, enjoying in being around company. So it's worth it even if I get a bad hangover. Sounds like you're wine drinkers. I'm not an old-fashioned guy. I hate bourbon. Fair enough, fair enough. I know not everyone loves bourbon. I fucking love bourbon though. I've gone crazy. I've gone so crazy for bourbon that I really, really, really want to move to Kentucky one day. that won't be for a long while, probably, given my living situation. But I kind of want to move to Kentucky one day just so that I can experience Bourbon Row. Maybe it can be a vacation of some kind, just like visit Bourbon Row, visit it's like learn how a lot of this stuff is made, because I know if you've ever watched Steve Sakai, he's like the big VTuber mixologist, which on one hand I'm very proud of him for that. On the other hand, I'm very jealous of him on that, because I want to be that. I'm coming for your crown. I'm coming for your crown, guy. But no, I love him. If you watch my off-Kai VOD, you'll know that I admire him deeply, and I even met him at off-Kai. He's such a chill dude. He's such an awesome guy. Like, I want to work with Steve Sakai one day, and I also want to surpass him. So it's like it's sort of a weird sort of friend. It's sort of like I want to be his friend and I want to be his rival type of thing. I'm a vodka and gin guy, sometimes rum, but it really depends. Rum is such a huge world that it's that like you can be a rum guy and not have heard about most rums, so no worries about that. Vodka, yeah, you might hate me for one of my YouTube videos because I describe vodka as flavorless, but I don't like vodka very much. I love gin. I quite love gin. The gin old fashioned is one of my favorite drinks I've ever had too. Um, what's his name? Steve Sakai. Steve Sekai. So Sekai means world. Sekai. So instead of A, it's E. Steve Sekai. Sekai. He makes a lot of VTuber cocktails specifically for Hollow Stars, and he also made a good video for Hollow Live, and he also made a post that went viral about Honkai Star Rail. I don't like Hoyo games, so I could never really immerse myself in a Honkai video, but he's also very good at his craft. He's so the thing is, like, he was a beginner mixologist a year ago. So he's making all these drinks that are very clearly amateurish, but you can tell like he has a passion for mixology. He knows what generally makes a good drink and is like riffing on that. And like his brews are weird and sometimes not the best, but you know he has the right mindset. And then like a year later, when he remade his Hollow Stars video, when he made drinks for a bunch of Hollow Stars, it's like, oh, all of these drinks are legit. All of these drinks can be served at real bars. All of these drinks are like well studied. He mentions that he read a ton of books to make sure that he actually made proper drinks because he realized that his original cocktails were very amateurish. And it's like, oh, yeah, he's gonna be very tough competition because like I have aspirations to be a big VTuber. He's a very good YouTuber already, and so the fact that he's claimed the crown as like the VTuber mixologist, like, it upsets me as someone who really wants that title, but it also makes me proud of him. And it's like, okay, he knows his shit. He's very good. He's very like respectable. I mean, I love the guy. Like, I can feel like he's a rival while still respecting him. You know what I mean? So it's like, as much as I'm jealous of him, I know he does a better job scripting videos. I know he does a better job being a YouTuber in general. I know he does a better job in general of just like planning out his videos, whereas I'm still a very small VTuber figuring out how the fuck I do anything. So it's like I understand why I can't be him, but I do want to be him someday. And I respect him greatly, obviously. Eto, minty fresh drinks are the back. Precaution, let's hope there won't be any drinks that taste like toothpaste. I promise you there won't be anything like that because the mint is a support. At best, mint is always a supporting role in the drink. It's never the main flavor in the drink for the drinks I'm making today. There are some drinks where mint is the main thing, and I do like those drinks too because I like mint, but I know for some people don't like that. Every time I take a sip of this drink, I lose track of the fact that I wanted to talk about the fucking whatchamacallit, what is it called again? Vodka run from Uma Musume. I'm sorry, this drink is just godlike. I genuinely like. I can't believe how good this is. Like with the OFTD that I tried. The OFTD, like, I can't believe how good this drink is. Like, like I said, I've made Queen Spark Swizzles before. They've never been as good as this, and I'm fucking blown away. Oh my goodness. I promise I will talk about the vodka drink. Man, like, I'm too blown away with this to focus on that. Ah, shit. Whoops. I clicked the wrong button. Give me a sec. Hopefully that doesn't fuck up the stream. Okay, there we go. Da, da, da. I kind of got interested in the Angel's Envy you showed the other day. I mean, I still have it. I made the mint julep with some Angel's Envy. It's very good. It was a very good mint julep. Found him, just gave him a follow. oh, oh, yeah. He does good stuff. He does good stuff. He's very charismatic. He's very funny. He's very good at what he does, despite being new to this. So I'm very, I'll be frank. I'll be very frank. I'm very jealous of him. But like, I can't help but respect him. I still want to get bitters, so I'm in between. I would lean towards the bitters because they're cheaper, and like any bitters you get, like I have tons of bitters here. I have Angostura, which you should always keep stock of. I have orange bitters, which I also think you should always keep stock of. You won't need them as often, but when you do need them, they're very helpful. And then I have a lot of weird flavored bitters that you don't really need, but it's nice to have to mix things up. So I have a chocolate bitters, Mexican chocolate bitters. Peychaud's, which is called for in some specific builds, but usually when they call for Peychaud's, any bitters will do, but then the Peychaud's is what makes it unique. And then hopped grapefruit, which is something I picked up randomly for fun, and it turns out this has carried a lot of weight for me in unique VTuber cocktails. Mint fresh or dry doesn't taste like toothpaste. The mint flavor on toothpaste is more artificial than anything. I agree with that. Like, okay. Rant incoming. I really fucking hate when people who don't like mint were like, oh, it just tastes like toothpaste. One, if toothpaste tastes good. When I'm brushing my teeth and I get that mint waft and that mint flavor over my tongue, obviously I'm not swallowing because swallowing toothpaste is unsafe. But when I brush my teeth and I feel that it's a mint waft over my tongue, like, I don't think that's unpleasant. That feels good to me. So like it's upsetting that people would like, oh, mint tastes like toothpaste as an excuse to explain that mint tastes bad. Because again, one, it doesn't, and two, the minty feeling you get from toothpaste is pleasant. So it's like, what's your argument? I mean, a pack of Angostura Orange is like 600, 700 pesos. The other is like 170 pesos, but doesn't have free shipping. It's still worth it because you dole these out in dashes. When you buy a bottle of bitters, and yes, this is a very small bottle compared to everything else, you're doing this with them. You're just doing this. Like you will put 2 dashes at a time, unless you're making a Queen Spark swizzle. You will put 2 dashes at a time, so you're just doing this. This, unless I make a what was that drink called? Trinidad Sour. Yeah. Unless I'm making a Trinidad sour or a lot of Queen Spark swizzles, I will not. It takes me months to go. Yes, multiple months to get through a 4-ounce bottle of this. So it will last you a long time. I think it's worth it, even if it's expensive due to shipping. And Angel's Envy is on sale from Walmart for like 799 pesos. Yeah, Angel's Envy is a little bit more expensive than usual, but I've always wanted to have a bottle of it. So I know it's a little more expensive than usual, but I thought it was worth it. So, it's fine. Well. Look who's on Twitch. Let's go. What's up, It's an Ed? Glad to see you here, It's an Ed. Yeah, I decided to start multi-streaming to Twitch again. I figured it was a better way to network. You going to AX next year? I want to try. A bunch of my coworkers, IRL friends, were willing to split a hotel room with me, so that'll massively decrease the price of entry. So I do think I will try for AX next year. 100%. Not 100%. I will try for AX next year. No guarantee, but I will try for AX next year. I always try every year, but it's never a huge guarantee. But next year, I definitely want to go to AX for sure. And especially because I mixed this AX for the past 2 years, and the Blue Archive meetups seems so fun. I really want to do a Blue Archive meetup at some point. The bitters are like 130 pesos, but don't have free shipping too. I haven't seen the reviews. Hopefully those are good. Bitters are a nice way to enhance anything. So like even if you have a bitters you don't use that often, it doesn't expire, and and you can always mess around with it. So that should be good. Oh, thanks for. I don't know what that is. It's either a follow or a like. So hopefully. It's either a follow or something else. So thank you so much for that. Let me check my stream element so I can properly thank you for that. Da, 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 da. Okay, maybe that was on Twitch. Was that you, Instant? Did you just follow me on Twitch? For whatever reason, my alerts don't work right, so I need to make sure. Maybe I need to have my bot inform me so that I can just see it in chat. Sorry about this. I'm wasting so much fucking time. Oh, okay. Winston, thank you for the subscribe. Thank you for following. I appreciate you. Welcome to Midnight Mixology. Welcome to the Nonatsu bar. I am planning to rebrand very soon, but I thank you so much regardless. Oh shit! Oh my god! I didn't read this earlier. It was a follow. Hello, hello, Winston. Glad to see you here. Sorry, it's hard to keep up with both chats at once. Thank you so much for following, Winston. I appreciate you. I'm so sorry about this. I missed this, Enzo. What's my favorite gin? I think my favorite gin has to be Empress. I know that's probably a mainstream response, but I really enjoy I really enjoy Empress, both for like what it does to cocktails, like it turns it that pleasant purple blue color, and then it really is very flavorful. It really is like it's intensely floral. It's intensely like junipery. It's very flavorful. So I genuinely like Empress gin, not just for the color. I still can't get over how good this is. shit. Just return to the YouTube. Thank you, thank you. The Twitch that side explains it. I like Blue Coat as my go-to chin. I've never seen Blue Coat. I don't think I've never seen Blue Coat, to be honest. Oh, yeah, my bot just informed me about the ads on Twitch. If let me give it about 5 more seconds. Yeah, if you wanna watch without ads, I'm also live on YouTube. So I'm multi-streaming to both Twitch and YouTube. And sorry for the ads, but Twitch forces them on you. And I really wanted to disable pre-rolls. That's why they're 3-minute ads. Where was I? Honestly, I'm done with this drink already, and I didn't even get to talk about the vodka, my vodka run in Uma Musume. So let's make the third drink, and hopefully I can get to describe that. So, I think I have to go overhead for this one. For this one, you will need a shaker. Let me move this over. And just move a bunch of stuff over. Okay. BTW Winston is the other name I go online. That's my Twitch username, Winston the Eagle Respecter. I thought it was a cheeky name. Online I go by Enzo, Winston, and Claude. Okay. Thank you for the follow. Oh, Winston and Enzo. Hopefully you're subscribed to my YouTube as well, but I thank you either way. I want to get Larios, the second cheapest bottle I can find here. The only thing I know about Uma Musume's vodka is that Daiwa Scarlet's owner insisted that Scarlet look prettier and have bigger boobs than vodka. I did hear that story. Yeah, I definitely heard that story. It makes me love Daiwa Scarlet even more. Yeah. Yeah. So, the Daiwa Scarlet very, very clearly is my favorite horse girl at the moment. I'm trying to figure out a way to build her. I think I need to pull on the gacha for her, but I'm waiting for like the banners to rotate. Let me just move that aside. I'm waiting for the banners to rotate so I can whatchamacallit, so I can get better supports for her, so I can better like support her as a front runner, etc. But my first ever run for vodka went so well that I like she's supposed to be vodka's rival, and so you get all those stories about how like the actual horse owner wanted her to have bigger boots, wanted to make her more attractive, and I do think it worked because Daiwa Scarlet's design is so good, so delicious, And I love Daiwa Scarlet so much. I really, really, really love Daiwa Scarlet. I really, really, really want to make a build that works for her so that I can properly finish her run, but I can't yet. Because I'm pretty sure she wants to be a front runner, not a pace runner. But then right now, I can only build pace runners. So her ult can't come off unless she's already in first place, and that's better if you're a front runner. So it's hard for me to figure out a good build for her, but I really want to make a good build for her, so it's tough. I really want to make Daiwa Scarlet good. But yeah, I found that story hella funny. I am indeed subscribed to YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am starting to put out more YouTube videos, and I want to plan out more shorts. They won't be on stream for the. I'm guessing at the very least that they won't be on stream for the most part, but I want to record some shorts of me making some quick and dirty cocktails. So hopefully I'll start doing that. But yeah, I want to focus on YouTube. That's why I was YouTube only for a long time. I wanted to go on Twitch because I wanted to be able to network more. I wanted to be able to like raid into people, chat with people on Twitch, etc. Because I know a ton of people go on Twitch because it's a lot more convenient. So I wanted to use Twitch more again, but I wanted to establish myself on YouTube for a while. That's why I only streamed on YouTube. But yeah, that's why I'm multi-streaming right now. And I just hope one of these days, like, I can break through. The only thing I know about Uma Musume is about the racehorse anime girls, and Pippa cried when she found out it was getting a US release. Oh yeah, like people were hardcore Uma Musume fans even before this EN release, and now I understand why. Because I talked about earlier how much of an insane Uma Musume fan I am now because of this, and it's crazy how obsessive they can make you feel about it. Story is fun as fuck, for sure. Twitch has the big number. Not really is the thing. So like Sleepy Project, now EP Sleepy for Face Connect, she still quote unquote only has like 200-300 viewers on her Twitch channel, which is roughly the same as she had before. She was definitely three views. She averaged over 100 viewers every stream, and while she now averages like 200-300 viewers, like it hasn't grown much on Twitch, but now on YouTube she averages like 2,000-3,000 viewers a stream. It's much crazier. So it's like YouTube has always been better, and people have been sleeping on it genuinely, but it's just that it doesn't have the same amount of features. It doesn't have the same amount of convenience. And like Sleepy herself, my current Oshi, always like rants about it. Always complains about like the problems with YouTube, given the convenience of Twitch. But like no matter what you think of YouTube and like its stringency and its all the BS that happens with YouTube, no matter what you think, it's genuinely better, regardless. Though money-wise, Twitch not doing too hot these days. Money-wise, it's never been good to be on Twitch anyways. Like, every single stream educator tells you to do YouTube stuff because they know that Twitch is not really sustainable. I love EP. I followed her before she got big with Bigger Booba. Same. I followed her when she was in indie. Unfortunately, I couldn't follow her very closely because of the fact that because I started to work graveyard shift, that like I can't watch her streams live. But like I loved her so much. What I really dislike about Twitch is the fact that it's really brain rotty in a way. There's so many features, there's so many like different community aspects, while good at being able to like connect people, are really bad in the sense of like it's so artificial. It's so like, oh, it's just engagement driven. Like, oh, okay, if a bunch of people donate, you start a hype train. If you do this and that, it's like they gamify it so much to encourage engagement, which is so artificial. And then it's like, sure, they have animated emotes, they have all these random features that make it easier for streamers to like do cool stuff on their streams, sure, yes, and like make it fun for the chatters as well, yes. But what they don't do is that they make it a good place to grow as a content creator if you're trying to do something with your content. If you get 10K subs on YouTube and you monetize effectively enough, you can quit your job right away. If you're a Twitch streamer, you have to go super, 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 super ham to be able to go full time. And it's not really worth the effort unless you put out YouTube videos that can help bolster that, because like on its own, Twitch doesn't really help you much. Twitch takes too much of the cut. Twitch doesn't have a good discovery algorithm. Twitch doesn't have all this type of stuff, because on YouTube you can go viral at any moment. The Twitch, sure, there are raids. There's a lot of ways you can like make friends and collaborate and like in general help each other out on Twitch to help each other grow. But you don't really have a true discovery algorithm where people can just come up with you randomly. And that's why I didn't want to hitch my wagon to Twitch. That's why I was YouTube only for a while, because I didn't want to rely on that. And even if my Twitch gets if my YouTube gets banned and I would have a panic attack. If my Twitch gets banned, I'm fine. I would go 100% on YouTube again, because I was 100% on YouTube anyways. I like the culture here. I like the fact that you can pull yourself up with your bootstraps. You don't need to rely on other people to raid you. You don't have to rely on other people to shout you out, etc. Like I prefer YouTube in so many ways. But I felt like I really needed to multi-stream to Twitch because I really want to be able to network more. I want to hang out with people more, etc. And then, of course, the big help. Her new model is utterly, absolutely fantastic, though. It's 10 out of 10 model. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. It's super good. But I do worry sometimes that people are only attracted to the model and not her personality. And I really hope that people really enjoy Sleepy for who she is and not just because the model has big boobs. You know? Anyways, last drink of the day, and hopefully I can actually talk about the vodka event I had in Uma Musume, because I really want to spill that. I'll be right back, though. No, I don't need to be right back, because I'll be right back when I need to grab the ice. So let's just work on it now. Let me put these. Yeah, okay. I'll be right back anyways, just to put my dirty dishes into the sink. So I'll be right back for these. Literally just need 10-20 seconds, and then I'll get to the last cocktail of the day. it shows the power of a debut too. Like she debuts exclusively on YouTube, and then because of Face Connect's branding, because of Face Connect's X marketing, because of the algorithm, and then like a bunch of people following Face Connect, so therefore they're gonna get recommended Sleepy's channel. Like a lot of that is due to YouTube's algorithm. And as much as people want to meme the algorithm, it does work. It is very effective. Like you can go viral off that. It's why she jumped up from like legit on YouTube. She averaged, so on Twitch she always averaged over 100 followers, but just barely. Now she's over 200, 300. But on YouTube she was more of a 2 view. She was like 50 to 70, sometimes over 100, and now she averages over 2,000. Like, as much as people hate YouTube, and in fact, the Sleepy herself, like, she complains about YouTube a lot, like, it is undeniable how much better YouTube is. Undeniable. Completely, utterly undeniable. Because yeah. Cleo's been getting insane numbers on YouTube, like possibly body numbers. She hit 11K. So botting is not, it's still an issue on YouTube, but it's not as much as of an issue because like there's a lot of ghost numbers. People complain about this a lot, but it's also like people with the quote unquote low value accounts don't get counted as the number. So like the number you see is a lot smaller than the number actually viewing you. And sure, some of them might be bots, some of them might be people who just never plan to upload anything in their life. Like it might be a VTuber watcher that you don't really follow. A VTuber watcher who will never make content, who will never clip anything. They just want to chat and have a good time because you know they have a job or whatever, and they don't have time for anything, etc. They are just nothing more than a fan and never will be more than a fan. And sometimes those people don't get botted. Sometimes those people don't get counted as a viewer, and so you get a lot of those kinds of views. And also, okay, nobody outside of Hollow gets 11K live viewers though. I have a counter to that, but first of all, hi T, how you doing T? It's been a while since I've seen you T, but I appreciate you stopping by. The other part of that is once again the algorithm, and why the algorithm is good for your growth. Cleo complained about this recently because it's a valid thing to complain about. Cleo complained about how she gets a lot of normies on her stream, where it's like, oh, what is this cringe anime shit? What are you doing? Oh, get the fuck out from my history, you cringe anime girl. Because like she gets auto-played into a lot, because she plays a lot of these grand strategy games that like have a lot of strategy guides by like flash tubers, by a bunch of different types of mediums. And then so like she gets rated into she gets algorithm rated into a lot, which is actually, like, as much as it brings in these toxic normies, is excellent for your growth. This is actually something that if you've ever heard of Randon, he's a weird male VTuber in that he's an office worker orc. It's weird because, you know, like the only orcs I can remember are from H anime. I won't go further into that. Random talk about this. It's about like he was a YouTube exclusive streamer, he started doing Twitch just to experiment with it, and he did find the same thing tons of VTubers find, that Twitch is a lot better. And like, I'm as someone who prefers YouTube, I will not deny that. I will not deny that. Like I do agree that Twitch is better because like they've been at this game for over a decade. They give a lot of features that are so much better. They have a lot of community elements so that people can pick each other up with raids and other features that make it a lot better to help grow each other. But even Randon said that like YouTube has the infrastructure to make a better product if they wanted to. And I know this for a fact. It's why I always cringe when Sleepy rants about YouTube, when other people rant about YouTube, when people talk about like, oh, I'm actually gonna go Twitch exclusive from now on because YouTube keeps fucking me over. And it's sort of like, you really don't understand YouTube if you genuinely think that, because it's like YouTube can win the fight whenever it wants. Genuinely, 100%. It can win the streaming fight whenever it wants. It can beat YouTube. It can beat Twitch in the snap. Literally in a snap. Quite literally in a snap. And I'm glad Randon actually pointed that out, because it's like, okay, yes, Twitch is better in almost every way. But the reason why he trusted in YouTube was because of the fact that they have a robust algorithm. They have a bunch of stuff that could work if YouTube gave a shit about live streaming. And then so, like, before YouTube started doing this, he actually predicted this before YouTube started doing this, is that what if YouTube started to raid you into streams? Like, oh, you're watching a bunch of videos for a certain YouTuber that you like. It doesn't even have to be a VTuber. You're watching a bunch of videos from a YouTuber you like, whether they're a VTuber or not, and they're live right now. So it algorithm rates you into a stream. So you watch, let's say for selfish thing, my videos. Like my videos aren't good yet, so it probably would never happen. At least not for now. You're watching my videos and you're like, oh, this guy's pretty cool. I wonder if he streams and what his streams are like. Like, well, when you finish a video, it might raid you into my stream if I happen to be live. And then that would get you a ton of viewers. That was something Random really wanted. That happened. Cleo gets algorithm rated so often from autoplay. Like, people will be watching like Civilization, Total War videos, like normal ass videos, and then get raided into Cleo's stream while she's live, while they're presumably asleep, because it's like, okay, she won't notice it until later when the toxic comments come, to be honest. But she'll, like, the algorithm will, like, okay, they have autoplay on. They're watching like Total War videos, Civilization videos, etc. And then eventually rates them. It eventually autoplays them into Cleo's stream. And so Cleo gets insane numbers on YouTube. She gets like 5K plus a stream. And then, as you said, Chibity, like 11K a stream. Sometimes, which is like Hololive numbers, like top tier, tip top numbers. Even on Twitch, because of the Kingmaker system on Twitch, the rich get richer. If you get to 5-digit numbers, you will continue to grow just based on the numbers alone. But anyways, like on YouTube, like Cleo gets the algorithm raid that Randon really wanted all the time. And to her detriment, because it's like she gets a lot of normie viewers like, what is this anime shit? What is this gooner anime shit? So get me out of here. What the fuck? And so she gets a lot of toxic viewers thanks to that. But it is a huge spike in viewership for her. It is a huge boost in the algorithm for her. It is a huge boost in everything for her. And it's yet another reason why YouTube is so much more superior than Twitch already. Despite the fact that YouTube doesn't really focus on live anymore, because of the fact that streaming is so unprofitable. Is so unprofitable. If I recall correctly, so Twitch has existed for over 10 years. Like, probably going on 13 years. I can't remember the exact number. But they've gone on for 13-ish years at this point. Like, 13-ish years at this point. And only recently have they become profitable. If they even became profitable. Like, I'm not sure if they're profitable right now. Which is already a damning sign. But I think they did manage to become profitable after like 13 years. And that took really shit advertising. Really shit pay cuts for bigger streamers. Really shit like monetization practices. Like, they had to do every predatory thing possible to make this at all profitable. Meanwhile, like, because of YouTube's algorithm, because of all the systems already in place for normal videos and applying them to live streaming, like, YouTube is already superior despite the fact that it's so less feature rich. It's so annoying that we don't have an animated emotes. It's so annoying that we don't have a clean raid system. It's so annoying that, like, YouTube streaming in general is really dog shit. Inarguably. Like, I get that why people hate YouTube streaming so much, especially if they were a long-time Twitch streamer, but it's also inarguably better for your growth. Oh, the orc? Yeah, Rendon the orc. He's like an orc office worker. You might know him from something else, but I am respectful of PLs here. And in general, I don't want to talk about PLs in this stream. The grass is always greener on the other side. Yeah. And so when Randon experimented with Twitch, he did find that Twitch was way better in a lot of ways, as I mentioned. But like he's smart enough to understand why YouTube streaming is still superior. And who knows, like, maybe Twitch streaming is superior for you in an individual case-by-case basis. But in a general sense, in a broad sense, YouTube will always be superior to Twitch. I do think if you have over 5k viewers and the stream chat isn't going mad like Saba's, something is fishy, pardon the pun. Oh, I need to watch a Saba stream. She played Resident Evil recently. Like, I love Saba so much. I wasn't really... In general, like, it's hard for me to really be a fan of HoloLive, but, like, I've watched a lot of Nimi lately, and, like, I really want to watch some Saba. And, yeah, like, Saba feels like a tree. I need to check out her recent VOD. Because she finally made a regular stream. She didn't beyond her debut. And her design is godlike, just in general. What's up with the chat XP thing? That was something YouTube actually implemented recently.
YouTube is starting to rank viewers based on like how much they chat, how much they donate, how much they do this and that. And you can be number one just by chatting. You don't need to just dono wall your way to be number one. If you're a frequent chatter, if you're a frequent person, you will earn ranks. And I do think that's kind of a cool way to I think that's a cool way to gamify it, so that like it's not just about who subscribes most, because I know on Twitch they have a leaderboard for people who subscribe, except subscribing costs money. Gifting subs costs money. Okay, cool. You can spend $100 on your streamer, but some of us are huge fans, and some of us are huge fans, but can't afford to do that. And like, it kind of sucks to be behind the person who just met you today and is simping for your model because it has its exposed booba, right? And so, like it is a cool system that YouTube has implemented. I'm not 100% sure how it really works, but I know it rewards you even if you don't pay a cent. So like you can be the number one chatter without paying a cent. So I do kind of like that. I don't like that it encourages spamming, but like YouTube chat does a good job of preventing spamming anyway, so maybe it's fine. I'm not sure. I intended watching Mari Mari recently because she piqued my interest. Haven't finished a full but she seems neat. I like how she talks. I've started to groan a little bit on Mari Mari. I wasn't really interested in her style, but then the more I hear her on like the collabs with Sleepy and Cleo, because they do the monthly tea time, the more I see clips of her, I might give her a chance, but I haven't yet. I really should at some point. I don't think Saba's Soul is for me in any form, but it's not an active dislike. She's got a million followers or ever doesn't need me. Yeah, maybe that's a toxic trait in mine, but it's like, it's hard for me to feel that Oshi push if they're already like super huge. So it's tough, but it's also like, I am interested in Saba, so I will still try to watch her streams, but yeah, she definitely probably won't be an Oshi for me. Mari Mari just sounds nice to like run in the background, very relaxing, very soothing. that is the surprising thing. She's excessively Zoomer. Mari Mari is excessively Zoomer-like, but she does have a nice voice, so it is kind of comforting. I really need to use the bathroom right now, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to take a break right now. It might be like a 5-10 minute break. I'm sorry, but like I really need to use the bathroom right now. So, I'm gonna be AFK for a bit. Sorry. I'm gonna run an ad on Twitch manually. So sorry about that. But I just really got. Give me a sec, and we'll finally work on this last cocktail. Let me just figure out how to run an ad real fast. Oh, an ad's about to run anyways, I think. Isn't the ad about to run anyways? Whatever, it's on. Whatever, it's auto-made. It's fine. Gotta go to sleep. See ya. Thanks for stopping by, Hacker Troller. I really appreciate you. So yeah, I'll be right back. I really gotta use the restroom, so I'll be right back. Did I have a BRB overlay? I don't. Let me just make that real fast. Text BRB. Um, how do I make the text huge so that people can't misconstrue? That should be fine. I can just stretch it out. Yeah, BRB. Okay. Let's actually make the last cocktail of the night. So we're gonna need a shaker. Where's the center? Okay. Um, I realize with this new setup, I kind of need to move everything in a weird way, but it should be fine. Okay. So this last cocktail of the night is gonna be my own invention. It's called the Chilling Reminder, and it was the second cocktail I made for Mint Fantome. The really big indie VTuber who you might know. She's done so many events at this point. She's done Off Kai, she's done an Anime Expo, she's done so many events. And she's become quite big. She's obviously really awesome and really charismatic. I love Min Fantome. It sucks because it's like I know she would be an Oshi for me, but it's like I don't feel that push to really. Oshi means push. Oshi means to push, to bring them as high as possible, and partly it is for the same reason you mentioned Chibadi for Saba about how she already has 1 million viewers. Like Mint already has such a dedicated, loyal fan base that is willing to push her so hard that I wonder if I'm really needed. And it's because it's like and it feels bad to say this. It feels bad to like put this out there, but it's sort of like it feels like she doesn't need me to push her, and that's why I don't like to. That's why I don't want to like. I don't feel the need to Oshi her because it's like she doesn't need that push. And I've always believed in the old school definition of Oshi, and Sleepy put it best. Sleepy put it best, my current Oshi. If you have more than one Oshi, you're a whore. I've always put it much more respectfully for that, but she puts it so bluntly. If you have more than one Oshi, you're a whore. And I am very comfortable saying that it's a Sleepy is my Oshi. Like, yes, she grew very huge because of Face Connect in more ways than one. But Sleepy did help me realize that, like, I had a hard time, even when I was fully into Hololive, and now I barely watch Hololive at all. I had a hard time calling any of them my Oshi, and I knew Kiara was my favorite for a long time. Like, for a long time. Polka was my favorite, then Kiara was my favorite. I could never call them my Oshi because it's like I never felt that need to push them, to bring them to greater heights, because they were in Hololive already. They were already at a huge height. Face Connect, with all their the huge push. Sleepy has 2,000 viewers on her YouTube streams. Like they have a huge push. They're very, very, very popular. But the reason why Sleepy is my Oshi, and she helped me realize this when I realized she was my Oshi, is that when I'm not just pushing her to be super popular to the mainstream, because she kind of already is, being in Face Connect. No. What I'm pushing her towards is to let people know that actually, she is the best VTuber of all time. And that's why I realized with like Mint's Phantom Oshis, despite the fact that she goes to so many cons already, she gets invited to so many events, that she's bigger, as Chibadi mentioned in chat, which I was trying to read earlier, that she's bigger than her Oshis that she follows, etc. Like she's already massively popular, and yet people still Oshi her, and it's I finally understand that feeling. It's not that she's your Oshi and she's very popular. No. What you're pushing her towards, because Oshi means push, importantly, the reason you Oshi her, despite the fact that she's already popular, is that you don't want her just to be popular. You want her to be the best VTuber. You want everyone to understand that she is literally the best VTuber in existence, the best idol in existence, and not everyone has caught up to that fact yet. That's how I feel about Sleepy. Yes, Sleepy got a huge push from Face Connect to help her bolster her popularity, to bolster her fame. She's my Oshi because you know what? She's not popular enough. she's not literally the best VTuber in the world. We have to change that. I need to push her to the literal peak. It's not okay that she's made it to the mountaintop. She needs to make it to the peak. Regardless of all of that, again, to start over, because I ended up derailing the conversation into the definition of an Oshi, and that I can only have one Oshi at a time. This was a drink I made for Mint fans homemade, because like I regardless of that Oshi feeling, I do respect her a ton as a VTuber. I love her so much as a VTuber. So I made 2 drinks for her. One that did go semi-viral. Minty Memory, which was basically just a grasshopper, but with some extra spice to it, which was really fun, really good. But it was also just the grasshopper. This is a drink of my own design, and I'm in fact so proud of this drink that I consider it. Sorry. Oh God. Okay, whatever. I'm so proud of this drink that I consider it the best drink, my favorite drink of all time. So first things first, we're gonna need a lot of mint leaves. Once again, mint is to taste. If you like a lot of mint, put a lot of mint. If you don't like mint that much, put less mint. Magnum opus, yeah, I would consider this my magnum opus. This is the best drink I've ever made. Hopefully it lives up to that, but every time I've had this drink, I always get blown away by it. So I'm pretty sure this. And the craziest thing is, I've never seen anyone make anything close to this on the internet. So I get to claim that I invented this. And I'm going to put a ton of mint into my shaker. Like, I really need an overhead light. That I will probably need to invest in it the next paycheck I get. But like, it's hard to see, but there's a ton of mint in here. Maybe it'll be on the vertical cam. Yeah, there we go. I put a nice a slab of mint in there. And then of course I left a mint sprig for garnish. It will, given that I'm gonna be putting this in the rocks grass, I'm definitely gonna trim it a little bit. So I just removed the big old stem from it, and so I have just this much smaller stem from it. But I'm gonna save this for garnish, so set that aside. I did slice a lime in half. We're gonna use a full lime, so we're gonna use a full lime that I always slice in half, so I'm ready to juice it. And just juice the lime into the shaker. The juice of one lime. We do need a nice chunk of simple in this, so 1 full ounce of simple syrup. And you'll see why in a minute. Like especially with a 2-to-1 simple syrup, like you don't typically need a full ounce, but I'm gonna need a full ounce of a rich 2-to-1 simple syrup here.
What was my ratio again? I keep forgetting my ratio. It's my own drink, and I change it up a lot. I think I only put 1 ounce. So use a gin you like. Use a gin you like. But I'm gonna put 1 ounce of specifically a Corey Cherry Blossom gin. Oh, that kind of spilled on me. Oh god, I'm spilling so much of this. A Corey does not come in a very convenient bottle. This bottle is very not well shaped for pouring. It wants to spill very often. And this is where we get a little crazy. This is when we get a little nuts. An ounce and a half of absinthe. So gin and absinthe is a combination frequently associated with something called the corpse reviver, and that's why I thought it was perfect for ghost VTuber like Mint Phantome. And besides that, I love absinthe. I really want absinthe to be forward in this. A huge issue with absinthe is that it's very, very abrasive. Is not suitable to a beginner's palate because of the fact that just absinthe is so strong. But if you ever get used to drinking absinthe in a way that involves heavy pours of absinthe, it is absolutely divine. It is so flavorful. It is so flavorful. It is so herbal. It is so complex. It is so intense that when you're able to handle absinthe, it is very good. And we put a lot of sugar and fruit juice in this to hopefully balance it out. So I do think this is a lot more accessible than a lot of absinthe drinks, but the very nature of absinthe makes it hard to enjoy for beginners. But if you ever get the chance to be able to try this cocktail, I promise you will have one of the best experiences of your life. I'm gonna fill the other tin with ice, so give me a moment. So, filled with ice, as you can see. And we're just gonna give this a quick. Oh wait, actually, let me grab the glass just so that we don't waste too much time. You're gonna want prepared a nice rocks glass with a rock of ice in it. Okay. Let's give this a good the 10 to 12 second shake. Okay. Now let's we're going to want to double strain this because we have mint leaves in here. And so we don't want the mint leaves we don't want any either like a chunk of mint leaves to get into the drink. We just want the drink itself. Ooh, this rock of ice is so big that we're filling the wash line without finishing the drink. Whatever, that means we have extra drink to go around. And then garnish this with our mint sprig. Make sure to give it a nice little clap just to make sure that it releases its oils. And there you have the Chilling Memory, the other mint Fantome drink I gave. So when I made the Minty Memory, which was basically just a grasshopper, I got 300 likes on this. This only got 15 likes. However, this became my favorite drink of all time. Let's give it a sip. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. That is divine. That is divine. As much as I praised the Queen Spark Swizzle I made earlier and how amazing that was, how perfect that was as a drink, how perfect, how much it brought me to the beach. This is even beyond perfect, and somehow, like, it's hard to describe how incredible this drink is. Sorry, let me catch up with chat because I did a lot of yapping as I was building this up. I was at Mint's original debut. Her coming back was a total shock. I wasn't able to watch the return. It's been over a year now, but like you said, I don't think she needs me. Yeah, it feels bad that she doesn't need me, but very, very nice that I was able to make a cool drink for her that became my favorite cocktail of all time. The Chilling Reminder. A kind of a dark name for a dark reality of life, but also a reminder to just keep on living because you always have more chances as long as you stay alive. So I already loved the absinthe when I first got into mixology, and in fact, there's still more in here. Let's pour the rest of this in here because we didn't get all of our pour. Oh yeah, baby. Normally this would pour all the way, if not for the fact that this ice is so huge. There we go. Now we got all of our pour. It's such a perfect drink. It really is. I fell in love with absinthe even before I made this drink. And then this drink that I invented, like, I don't think anyone has ever made a drink that combines mint with absinthe. And just I've looked it up on the internet, and a lot of my recipes are inspired by drinks that already exist. I decided to make this on the fly for mint Fantome, and it became, and just the combination, like it started as a corpse survivor, sure, but like no one put mint in a corpse survivor, no one put mint in like an absinthe drink in general, and mint, the way mint and absinthe work together is so amazing. The combination of mint and absinthe is such a beautiful old combination because absinthe is so herbaceous. There's so many herbal elements to it, just like anise and like, it's hard to describe. I'm not good at noting absinthe. I just know that I love it so much. Like, yeah, black licorice, tons of herbs, like too many to describe, like just putting the whole spice cabinet in, because I feel like I taste cilantro in this. Like I taste cilantro in addition to the herbiness, in addition to like the mint, in addition to the mint pairs so nicely in the flavor, like it blends into the flavor profile of the absinthe and all of its herbs. It's anise, it's like it's so hard to describe this absinthe. I'm not good at it. Yeah, I'm not good at it. Is there cardamom in this? Let me read the thing. Our absinthe verde is the result of star anise, brandy, wormwood, lemon balm. Yeah, I did think I tasted basil, and there is basil in this. Fennel. Okay, that's why it is fennel. Fennel, tarragon, and stinging nettle. Yeah, it's like there's so many savory spices in that specific and absinthe, the St. George. Yeah, there we go. Now, okay, now I understand what that flavor is. That's fennel seed. Yeah, there's an intense minty flavor. There's intense mintiness. There's intense anise flavor. Yeah, the lime comes through first. The sweetness brings out like basil and the tarragon and the fennel and so many of these spices and herbs that go into the absinthe, in addition to that pleasant black licorice. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love this drink so much. This is a perfect cocktail. This is a perfect cocktail. And I get to claim that I invented it. Mint and absinthe are some of the best things to go along with it. You put a little lime juice, a little bit of you put a lot bit of lime juice. So 1 ounce of simple syrup, 1 ounce of lime juice, 1 ounce of gin, 1.5 ounces of absinthe, and muddle a lot of mint. Garnish, shake and strain, garnish with the mint. Do I get enough of the gin? I think I need to use a stronger gin than usual. I think the gin gets a little lost. When I use a London dry gin, I can detect that gin a little better. I do get a waft of juniper that is prominent in all gins. Ooh, okay. Now that I'm looking for the gin, I do get a bit of the cherry blossoms right at the end of my Akori. Yeah, the absinthe is so strong. The absinthe kind of takes over, but then you get the waft of actual cherries, of cherry blossom flowers, of juniper, right underneath all of the complexities of the absinthe with all of its herbs, its tarragon, its basil, its mint, its star anise, its black licorice flavor. It's so perfect. And then the way the lime just accentuates everything. The lime is not present at all, but it's necessary to be able to just give you a platform to walk on, because absinthe is so strong. It needs a bedrock of something to walk on so you don't trip over and fall. So you don't feel absinthe is such a strong flavor that you need a baseline to not trip over and fall, because it's such a strong flavor. It kind of overpowers everything, that the lime and the sugar give you a baseline floor that accentuates every note and keeps you stable, holds your hand, keeps you on your feet as you get to explore all the delicious flavors of the absinthe, despite how strong it is. The beautifully comfortable old cherries and cherry blossom of the gin, of the Akori cherry blossom gin. And if I were to describe the purity that is Mint Fantome, if I was to describe the purity of which is just gin, which is just mint in general, what makes mint such a delightful flavor, what makes it so comforting and relaxing and refreshing, is all embodied in this cocktail. Is this I hate to sound narcissistic. I really do, because I know I'm a nobody VTuber who only has a few hundred followers, or who only streams like 5 viewers at a time, etc. I know I'm being arrogant when I say that this is the perfect cocktail, but this is the perfect cocktail, and I've never seen anyone make a cocktail like this. Is so balanced, is so complex, and yet, like, I genuinely think I have served this to beginner people, which is to say my family. I've served this to my family after one of the worst experiences in my life, a funeral. After a tragic funeral, everyone's sad, and I decided to make this for everyone, and even to a beginner's palate. And like, absinthe is an intense flavor that is hard for beginners to grasp just because it's so strong, and then a complicated flavor in that like, you might not be able to understand everything that's in the absinthe. But still, I made this for people in their time of need, in a time of deep grieving, and it was a comfort to them. It was so delicious. It was so good that it helped. It might not have helped them forget, but it helped them just us remember how beautiful life is, that something like this could exist. And once again, I've never seen anything on the internet combining mint and absinthe together, even though it's such a perfect combination together. This is one of my own creations and is my proudest creation of all time. And it is the reason I wanted to do a mint episode. Oh, it's so delicious. It's so complex. And even to a beginner's palate, like, even if you can appreciate all of it, it's so welcoming because it is just an intensely... It's an intense limeade that gets you drunk right away in a pleasant way. Because absinthe is very strong. Let's not mince words here. Like, absinthe is like 67% out. Let me actually look that up. Yeah. 60% alcohol. Like, it is an intense drink because of the absinthe. Absinthe itself is already an intense flavor, in addition to the fact that it's very super powered in terms of its alcohol content. Like, it is very overpowering, but it's so... In this drink, it's neutered enough that it's so... It's so neutered, it's so well behaved that you get to experience the absinthe. It's been a while since I've been able to make this cocktail, but it still is. And I genuinely hate to toot my own horn, but this is one of my inventions, and it is the best cocktail I've ever had. Cool camera transition. Yeah. I readjusted my camera angles because as I thought it would be better to have like a slightly angled overhead view, because the full overhead view, which was 90% perpendicular, was a little too limiting. So I wanted to do something more like, if you've ever watched Miori Celesta stream, Miori is one of the best VTubers of all time. Her numbers don't show it, but she deserves to have like 20k views a stream. She's so good. She's very charismatic, first of all, and then more importantly than that, so second of all, she's very charismatic. First of all, she literally, and I know I'm going out on a limb to say this because I know people will say Suisse does. She literally has the best voice in all of VTubing. I'm willing to put my life on the line there. Like, I know people will say Suisse. I think Miori Celesta has the best voice in VTubing. She's so excellent at her voice is incredible. She has that ASMR vibe, whereas like if you listen to true ASMR, not just like girls whispering into a mic, but it's literal, like they're trying to trigger certain things in your brain psychologically. Like, Miori Celesta's voice has that ASMR quality where you listen to her sing and it triggers something in your mind. You have a physical response to her voice because it's so good when she sings. And it's incredible. It genuinely is incredible. So like Miori Celesta is one of the most underrated VTubers of all time, despite the fact that she's already popular. And that's why I decided to do this kind of angled overhead view because as when she does hand cam stream, she does something similar to this. So I wanted to do something similar to this, and then I did the usual vertical camo with model type thing with this view. This was inspired by Rooney Rose. I watched exactly one Rooney Rose stream so far, and part of the future ones because I've really gotten into her. But like Rooney Rose from Phase Connect did a stream where she had like a nice mermaid model while she made tiki drinks. And first of all, she's a legit mixologist. Do not get anything twisted. She's a legit mixologist. She does great drinks on her own. Rooney Roots. Oh God. Okay. My bad. In my frustration, I dropped the camera. Because, like, I feel bad for misrepresenting her name. Sorry. Let me just reposition the camera a bit. I totally knocked it over. That's how frustrated I am with misrepresenting her name. This camera angle was inspired by Rooney Rose. I did fucking again. I'm so sorry. Okay. Calm down. Calm down, no Nazi. This camera angle was inspired by Rooney Rose because she did a tiki stream recently, and she's a legit mixologist. Like, I saw her on Twitter making just the showing off her recipes, like, oh, I'm planning to make this on stream, make sure you catch my stream. And it was like, okay, I knew she did mixology, but I was like a little bit skeptical because it's like, oh yeah, like anyone can claim to be mixologist, but also like so many mixologists make like super creamy, super sweet, super frankly, like, I'm not afraid to say it, bad cocktails for the sake of like getting TikTok views, or like, oh, it looks right, so it's gonna catch the eye of the VTuber even though it's not really a good drink. But no. Rooney Ruse makes good drinks. When she posted that tweet, it's like, oh, I have an infused rum. I made a rum, so she made something called a Rooney Runner because it's very clearly based on a rum runner. If you know your tiki drinks, the rum runner is a bad drink. The rum runner is gross. It's really gross. However, anyone who makes their own rum runner tends to make a good drink, because people who know that the rum runner is gross knows that, well, it has good concepts, so they're gonna make it, so let me try making their own drink. And then so they make their own version of the rum runner that's way better, and she made her own version that like omits a lot of the stuff that was bad about a normal rum runner. And it's like, oh, she knows her shit. And then so like I watched her stream, and so her stream was a lot better than this. So she had an actual like beachy background. She had like a surfboard that she then put the vertical video on. So she had a vertical video like I have here, and then her model on the side like I have here. But then she was in like a sexy mermaid outfit. She had the whole beach thing going because she had a beach background in it. She had a lot of stuff that made it so much better than this stream setup, but it's still like in the end it boils down to having her full model on display
as you can see on the right side here, and then having this vertical camera to show the IRL thing she's doing, the hand cam thing she's doing, making her drinks, which again, because she's a good mixologist, we're bangers. I really want to make more Rooney cocktails that she's made. Let's not mince words. God damn it, you. Oh, that tickled me more than I thought it should. Ruse. Yeah, I saw that. Like Scooby-Doo, Rooney, Ruse. I'm not sure what the reference is there, but I have watched a lot of Scooby-Doo, but I still don't get the reference. I know for a fact that the reason I love Rooney so much, honestly, like it took me 5 minutes to understand why I love a Rooney stream, and maybe I explained this last stream, but last stream I privated, so fuck it. It took me 5 minutes to understand how good Rooney was as a VTuber, because oh my god, she's so charismatic. First of all, like as a mixologist, as someone with a deep mixology autism, she knows her shit. She absolutely knows her shit. She is a great mixologist. But then, that's already a plus. Like, she makes good drinks. I don't even need to taste them to know they're good, and I want to taste them because they sound very good. And I'm sure the second I drink them, once I try them out, they are going to be good. Second of all, she's so charismatic. She's so funny. She's so likable. She's such a great streamer. I get I instantly realized oh yeah, 100%. Like they got it right with her. She's such a good streamer. She's such a good VTuber. And on that note, I really love the fact that Rooney actually plays into her VTuber character well. That's something I want to work on myself, and I don't think I can do it because I didn't know not to. That's why I'm rebranding. But it's like she is willing to do all the in-jokes about what she is as a VTuber. She's supposed to be a villainess, so it's like, I rused you. Every time she tricks her chat, is like, oh, you thought I was gonna do that? I rused you, because her name's Rooney Ruse. And she leans into the fact that she's a villainess. She leans into the fact that this and that, and it's sort of like most VTubers, like the vast majority of VTubers, like the VTuber is at minimum 95% the real person, right? Like you watch VTubers because you like the real life person that they are, despite the fact that they use an anime model instead of a real. Despite the fact that they use an anime model instead of the real face. But like part of the fun of being a VTuber is that despite the fact that they're using a model instead of their real face, is that like they can make a character out of it. Oh, if you're the warden of Penshima like I am, if you are an AI like Project Melody, if you are the princess of Pecoland like Picora from Hololive, if you are a college art student like Hanamakia from Niji Sanji, like no matter who you are, like if you play into your role a little bit, it adds that fun little immersion of like, oh, the anime character on your screen is really the streamer. It's not just a flesh puppet IRL. It is the streamer. That this anime character you see on stream is the real streamer. And so Rooney does that. She leans into her character every now and then when it makes sense, of course. Like, you don't have to do it often. Like, you can be 95% yourself, but then that 5% of the time you're like pretending to be a villainess, like Rooney does, saying I rused you, like Rooney does, stuff like that. And I miss when a lot of VTubers did that. Japanese VTubers still do it to an extent, but not that much lately compared to, like, okay, Peko still is Peko. Is that very unique character of Peko. But Pekora, and it says Peko at the end of her sentences a lot. But it's like it's awesome that VTubers can ham it up a little bit and play these random characters. I like that about them. So I wish more VTubers would do that. Yeah, is basically my point, you know? And that's why I ended up liking Rooney so much, just instantly. 5 minutes into the stream, like, oh, I love this VTuber away. 3 minutes into the stream, I'm already a member. Like, I paid money to be membered to Rooney because it's like, she's genuinely just like a top tier VTuber too. Like, she should be a 5 view top 1% of the 1% type of VTuber. In addition to, of course, there's my actual Oshi Sleepy. Yeah, like Pomu being from Digital Neverland and all that, living in her forest or Manchu. Yeah, exactly. Like, even then, like, that's very clearly a reference to her IRL life. But then it's like you didn't need to. She could have just said my house, my this or that, but she decided to like she's still like 97 to 99% herself on the streams. But whenever she wants to talk about her IRL life, she instead twists it a little bit to play the character of like, oh yeah, my fairy mom live in my forest, this is what I do. In the mushroom I live in, this is what I do. And it's like I wish more VTubers these days would do that, because these days now, this is a glorified Discord avatar. This is nothing more than a Discord avatar. It's very much just like a face you use while you're 100% yourself, which is it's not bad, of course, obviously. If you're a very entertaining person, if you're a very likable person, you don't have to lean into your character if you don't want to. But like, what exactly is the point of being a VTuber if you don't create a fun little anime character that you want to emulate, that you want people to think that it is your character? And that's why I'm rebranding, is because like I don't think I can properly play the warden of Penshima prison that is Kazari no Natsu. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's finally coming soon. It's finally coming soon. It really is. It's we are finally catching up with it. My new model is ready on the horizon. I'm not sure I'll ever do a proper debut, because I just don't think I'm popular enough for a lot of people to show up to a debut. But I'm so excited to rebrand and be able to do this more often, to do that kind of thing more often. Hakia was still talking about Sun Ravenland. Yeah, I noticed that about him. He takes a lot of notes from Pomu, I noticed, and it shows. And he's I feel so bad for him because of his like vocal debuff, because he's another one that deserves just like tons of viewers. He deserves to be a 3 view, 4 view.
He deserves to be recognized as one of the big VTubers with how much talent he has, how much true charisma he has. Like, as much as I want to be a big VTuber, I know I don't deserve it yet. Like, I don't deserve to be even a 2 view yet. I'm not very charismatic. I'm not very talented. Hakuya is. Hakuya is a 4 view talent that hasn't been discovered yet. And yeah, the fact that he does stuff like this, he is a true blue VTuber. He is so good at what he does as a VTuber. He is talented like the top tier VTubers, etc. So, like, he deserves a lot of praise himself. They say the mark of a great interview is when you don't actually get through the question list you want. That the conversation goes so far off the rails that you don't actually talk about what you want to talk about. I think we accomplished that because I wanted to talk endlessly about Uma Musume, and we probably still will in a future stream, especially if I don't find enough to talk about. But I really wanted to talk about Uma Musume, but we ended up talking about a lot of stuff about VTubers, about like the drinks itself, because these minty drinks were so good. But like, the fact that we got to talk about all sorts of stuff while getting to enjoy these absolutely banger drinks, all these minty delights. Honestly, I could go even further with minty stuff because I made that ginger drink with mint that was really good. I could talk about that too. I could talk about all sorts of other things, but at last, the state I'm in, I'm very drunk and I want to end stream soon, but like, we got to talk about a lot of things today, and I'm very glad to be able to do it. I'm glad to be able to discuss things with new viewers. I'm glad I got to just yap about random things we ended up discussing, because like I was so ready to discuss all of the like Uma Musume stuff I've been into, and like we did with the mint julep because it was very relevant to the mint julep. But like the fact that we were able to talk about all this other stuff is it does honestly feel good, despite the fact that I never got to tell you guys about my insane vodka run and for Uma Musume, which I really do want to discuss, but I'm getting too drunk to actually be able to pull that out. So it's great. I know for a fact that like interviewers, or when the flow of the conversation is very good, when the flow of the conversation is very much like, oh, they've gone off the rails, I didn't get to ask all the questions they want, that's actually a bonus because it led to a very natural conversation, a natural sort of like discussion, and it was very fun to just be able to talk with the person they were interviewing, as opposed to having a very scripted set of questions, which will probably get a very scripted sort of answers, because especially with a particularly big interviewee, they need to keep up their image, so they have to give a super scripted response, and it's not really real, to be frank. And so when you get to go off the rails, when you're not asking the questions you had planned out, when you're not, if you're a streamer, if you had a bunch of topics you want to talk about on stream and you barely got to any of them, that tends to make for a good stream, because it means that like you got to go on a ton of tangents, you got to do a lot of fun stuff, and It feels good to be able to do that to this stream while talking about all the minty drinks I love so much. So I thank you guys for that. It was so much fun being able to make these minty drinks and use that as a springboard to just yap about everything. Ugh. There's one Twitch retro game VTuber I watch who does in-character stuff and another who doesn't really. So it's a funny contrast between I'm a magical girl cow and my fiance cheated on me emotionally in Final Fantasy 14 doing puppy play with another girl, and I would have done puppy play if I asked for it. Oh yeah. That is a weird conversation. So like I know there's this whole parasocial conversation with VTubers, and like I'm typically on the side of GFE and BFE streamers. I am on the side of that because I do think streaming is inherently parasocial, and like people who complain about it are complaining too much, because it's like, oh yeah, like sure, like I get it. It's annoying to deal with these parasocial elements, but that's also like 1% of your chat. Like 99% of your chat are reasonable people with reasonable responses, and you just need to control that, etc. And then you gotta admit that too, like even if 99% of your chat is reasonable, like I would say a good percentage of your chat is pretending like you're his girlfriend to make you feel better about yourself. Of 20% of your chat, I'm pulling numbers out of my ass. 20% of the numbers are pretending you're their boyfriend because they need that emotional support in life, but like aren't delusional enough to think that that's real, right? And then so it's like sure, there are genuine delusional people who are problematic, but then it's like the concept of parasocial has gotten too far, where it's like, oh, parasocial is bad, except that the very concept of streaming is parasocial. Like I don't see you IRL. You don't see me IRL, at least partially. You get to see my hands, but you don't see anything else. And so I don't know much about your life. I hold back a lot for my life, and so we don't really have a true relationship as streamer and chat. But it's a positive parasocial relationship, and it's like it feels good to be able to talk to you guys. I'm sure it feels good for you guys to talk to me about like my passion about mixology and like just the various things I talk about. And so it's tough, but also to finally bring it back to the point because I kind of derailed the point. I do also enjoy when a VTuber is willing to say like, oh, I have a husband, I have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend, etc., and getting to describe that relationship, because it's fun to hear about like their lives and what they do, because like I expose myself a lot with with how much I with the crazy stuff I drink. This is my main hobby, so like I make a bunch of weird drinks. I study mixology a lot. I watch a lot of YouTubers. I watch a lot of anime. I watch a lot of movies and talk about them on stream. Oh god, there's actually something I want to talk about with Mint specifically. That my best friend IRL requested I say on stream. Hopefully we'll get to that. But it's like when we get to have a natural flow of conversation on the stream, it feels really good. It feels really good. The second girl broke up with her fiance over the cheating, so now it's her and her 3 cats. Oh no. Oh, that's so unfortunate. So unfortunate. That sucks. I'm sorry for her. There is a streamer I like who's genuinely married. She has a husband, and she talks
about him a lot. If you've ever heard of the VTuber Yumie Tsuchinoko, I believe that's correct. Yumie Tsuchinoko. She's an excellent VTuber. She's done Blue Archive lore videos that are like 4 hours long, 3 to 4 hours long. Excellent content. She does such a good job voice acting it, compiling all the data so it's an accurate representation of the lore, etc. She does an excellent job. She talks about her husband and username Bear a lot, and it's very wholesome. It's very wholesome to hear that she is married and she has a loving relationship with this guy named Bear, or at least his username. And I actually got to talk with back when I was able to be active in Yumi's Discord server. I used to be able to talk to Bear. I used to be able to my current hot toddy recipe is based on Bear's recipe, Yumi's husband's recipe, because he told me about his hot toddy. And it's like, oh yeah, I put a little old granddad, I put a little honey, I don't really measure it, I put this and that and this and that, and it turns out really good. And me and Yumi like to sip on it a lot. And it's like, that sounds really good, actually. So I decided to quantify it because he didn't really measure anything. So I decided to quantify it for myself and make my own hot toddy recipe. Well, I compiled a hot toddy recipe with specific measurements that Bear didn't give me, but it was very much based on his recipe, which wasn't measured out. And like it's one of the best hot toddies I ever had. And when I mentioned that to Bear himself, he was very like, oh cool, okay, I'll try this recipe, because it was his recipe, but he didn't really bother to measure it out. And two, when I got to talk to Yumi about it at the most recent offcut, he was like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad Bear was able to help you and all that." And like, Yumi is so good as a VTuber. Once again, another VTuber who's like a 2 view that deserves to be like a 5 view. Like she's so wholesome, she's so great. Like she deserves a bigger spotlight than she has currently. Oh man, I'm super drunk and I'm super tired, not gonna lie. So I think I'm gonna end it here. It was so much fun being able to chat with you guys. It was so much fun being able to make these minty drinks for you guys. I'm so happy that you guys think this was worthwhile to watch. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for anyone who comes over and chats. I'm so grateful for anyone who listens to me yap for hours at a time. I'm so grateful that if any of these drinks inspire you to make something of your own and make your day better, that if it makes your day better, I'm so happy. So I thank you so much. I'm gonna end stream now because I'm quite drunk and I need a glass of water, multiple glasses of water. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you for enjoying all of these minty drinks I made. Should be around here. Oh no, I already put them away. Yeah, thank you for joining me for all these minty drinks I made, for all the yapping I did, for all the chatting you did. It was super fun. It was super exciting. And I'll see you guys next week. I'm not sure what I want to do next week. I have slightly an idea, but I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what to say, but thank you. See you next week. If you're still here on YouTube, if you're on Twitch If you're watching me on both streams, YouTube and Twitch, if you're on Twitch, I'm going to raid you into someone. I'm not sure who yet, but I'm gonna raid you into someone. If you're on YouTube, I'm ending stream now. Thank